My pastor at Church Road, Mark Cummins, has been talking about this for the last couple of months. And he said there are connections right here in Ocala, and it turns out he was right. This will make a good topic, although I doubt he can say very much about it. Greg Graham, the chief of police, asked the cops on Friday, and I got a good one for the sheriff about this forging of documents. I want to know how that process works for us in the county jail.
Right.
And I'm sure they'll be able to inform us about that.
On the national scene, Philip Chisholm, a 14-year-old, from Danvers, Massachusetts, has been charged as an adult in the murder of a teacher of his. The teacher went missing Tuesday. She was found dead in the woods, and the police have arrested Philip Chisholm, 14, in the murder, and he's being charged as an adult. That's another sad yet not shocking story that, as you said the other day with the middle school shooting, they're becoming all too familiar stories.
Yeah, and then I read a story about a 5-year-old killing himself with a gun the babysitter left there, which is, again, about that topic of who kills people, guns or people. You know, a 5-year-old shot and killed himself. Because
They never said she got shot.
Who?
The teacher.
Yeah, the teacher didn't get shot.
I'm not talking about that.
They never said how she died.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about the story I'm talking about is one with the 5-year-old kid regarding guns who was shot and killed himself. Another case.
Oh, laying in bed.
Yeah,
I read that.
And so it was the babysitter's gun that was left out.
Right. This teacher, they don't know they hadn't released how she's died yet.
Right.
And another story here in Ocala. Thanksgiving's coming up, as we all know. We got a lot of families who are in need. Well, our two largest food banks, Interfaith and the Salvation Army, both say they are woefully low, the lowest levels they've seen in many years. They're using cash donations now to buy food because they're getting so few food donations. So these are the three stories I'm following here on this Wednesday. All
right, we come back, we talk about a mystery tweeter. Well, not a mystery anymore. Fired by the White House for some of its comments on Twitter. Boy, getting a lot of people. We'll talk about that and much more to come on the show. I want to mention, by the way, that we have a special guest today, Coach Tim Ryan of the national champion Central Florida team, Patriots will be here at 5:15. We'll talk to him, and of course, we mentioned Billy Donovan tonight will be in town. So lots of stuff going on in sports. So stay tuned to the program called The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Attention, all outdoor health and fitness enthusiasts. Do you like taking in the fresh fall air first thing in the morning while getting exercise and raising money for a good cause? Well, good news, because Saturday, October 26th, you can do all three at once. That's right. The Cornerstone School and its partner, Alarian Bank, is hosting a Cornerstone Leads the Way 5K walk-run for fun and fitness. Join us at 8 a.m. at Tuscaloosa Park. 30 bucks gets the first 200 entrants a t-shirt, a race number with an electronic chip, and a goodie bag. Proceeds will benefit Cornerstone's new technology and innovation laboratory. So come out and join us for a morning of great fitness fun. Go to alarianbank.com/5K to register. Cornerstone Leads the Way 5K. Race you there.
Race you there.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist in Ocala. There's no referral needed for an appointment. Call 873-7200, offering medical services for glaucoma management, including laser surgery to help lower your eye pressure and potentially reduce your dependency on eye drops. He also evaluates and treats diabetic retinopathy, one of the leading causes of blindness, with advanced imaging and laser procedure to help prevent vision loss. Dr. Hunt's office accepts most insurance and files claims for you. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robert and I will be speaking to Anthony Giovinazzo. He's the CEO and president of Synapsis Therapeutics. He's coming out to speak to us about Parkinson's disease, the symptoms, the importance of discussing off and freezing episodes, and the challenges that Parkinson's disease patients face.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then Hank Whittier will be in the studio from Veterans Helping Veterans. He'll be bringing you his show, Veterans News, as he does each and every Thursday.
Stan Creel is the Recreation and Event Supervisor at the City of Ocala Recreation and Parks Department. He will be in the studio speaking about the 30th annual Light Up Ocala event happening on Saturday, November the 23rd.
And then Dr. Doug Inkley will be with us. He's a certified wildlife biologist and the senior scientist for the National Wildlife Federation. He's coming out to speak to us about the National Wildlife Federation report, Swimming Upstream, Freshwater Fish in a Warming World. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on the Source WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Ooh, it's cold in here. Ooh, it's hot in here.
It's just right in this house.
Looks like 1 out of 3 know about climate control mechanical services in Ocala. The first didn't call 291-0185. The second didn't know to call 291-0185. The third called 291-0185. So the moral of the story? To know is one thing, but to know and take action is another. Climate control mechanical services. Just right.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA studios with this news break brought to you by Gateway Bank. The county's 2 largest food banks have issued an SOS as donations have reached the lowest level in years. At the Interfaith Emergency Service Food Bank, officials are using cash donations to buy as much food as possible for needy families. The cupboards at the Salvation Army of Hope Food Bank are also getting bare, and monetary donations are $60,000 behind last year. This news update was brought to you by the Gateway Bank. Join Buddy every Friday for Community Gazette Week at Gateway Bank.
And coming up at 5:30, Coach Tim Ryan, national champions. The Central Florida Patriots be kicking off their season soon, tipping it off with big expectations, I suppose. When you win a national championship, I guess expectations get pretty high. Coach Ryan will be along here shortly this afternoon.
Think about that. He come off a national championship last year, and this year, if he wins the state championship, the first year it's being held in Ocala, boy, he'll be a pretty good record.
Nice Quinella, huh? Be very good, Quinella. 4 o'clock. John McLeod will be here, and John McLeod will bring his business associate, Melanie Chester, to talk about what we can understand about Obamacare. A lot of things. I had to start from scratch because I'll be honest with you, I have Medicare, so I'm okay. But there's a lot of misnomers, a lot of misunderstandings, and a lot of bad information. And also a lot of confusion about how to sign up. As you know, Tom, you tried to several times to sign up for it. So we're going to try to get some information from the standpoint of the boots on the ground, the people here involved with the exchanges, which is what Melanie's involved with. And she can kind of maybe guide us through some of this and say if you're having difficulty, who to call, etc. Because it's an important issue. And I'm not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say it's a failed system, let's forget about it. Well, it's law now. Let's figure out how to get it done. And I hear these arguments, heard one today, that, well, look at all the problems they're going to have with this information online that people can steal and hack into. Well, what do you think Social Security is?
They can do that with your credit card.
What do you
information.
think with income?
Online
What do you think
banking?
income tax are? What do you think Medicare is? You know,
Everybody files their income taxes now practically online through e-filing. So
like they're
you can get all
automatically
that.
going to be able to tap into that because it's online. Come on, man. This is 2013.
Here's my
please.
problem. Here's my problem, buddy, and I think that this is a legitimate complaint. What have you just said? You said, wait and let's figure out how this thing works first. Mm-hmm. It's law now, so let's figure out how it works. My problem is, shouldn't you have figured out how law works before you made it a law?
Well, that's done. That ship
I
is
know
sailed.
that ship's sailed,
And,
but that's my only problem. These people that are trying to redo it now, unless you repeal it, let it go in, and if it works, Obama's a genius.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I use this example. I'm for the Patriot Act. Parts of it bother me, especially when I read stories about the fact that we, in the NSA, we tapped into how many 70 million phone calls in France alone in 30 days? You know, not to mention they tapped into yours and mine.
But if overall it makes you safer and less terrorist,
I'm for it. I just want to know that. And I think the thing is that the administration has made a mistake. The website's the biggest fiasco in the world.
Oh, it's terrible.
How they could ever have put that together, I don't know. I mean, they should have gone and got the best people in Silicon Valley, which they're doing now, and figure this thing out, because obviously it wasn't ready for prime. And the secretary's going to get fired before it's over. She's going down. She's going to be fired.
Well, it just gives fodder for the critics to say, see, it's already costing us money.
Exactly right. So therefore that's not, the website's not working, so it's a bad idea. You know, and that's unfortunate. So I really want to know more about it, and I want to see how it works, and I want to be able to. I can't even talk intelligently about it right now because I don't know enough about it, to be honest.
The problem is, I don't think a lot of people can talk intelligently about it. Remember, the famous lines were, Nancy Pelosi said this, let's not worry about understanding it, let's just get it passed. We'll worry about understanding it later.
Well, some folks on both sides certainly voted to pass it, so there you go. Let's talk for a second about this guy who got fired in the White House. Joffe Joseph, okay? He worked in the White House, national security staff at the White House, although he was one in the non-proliferation section, whatever that means. Apparently been surreptitiously tweeting under the moniker of NatSECWalk. That was like a sports tweet. A Twitter feed famous inside Washington policy circles. Okay, now it's shut down. Guess what? They found out that Joffe was the guy doing this. And among the tweets he sent out over this period of time, or some of these is some good ones, I'm an Obama fan, but his continuing reliance and dependence upon vacuous ciphers like Valerie Jarrett concerned me, whoever that is. And he says, was Huma Abedin wearing beer goggles the night she met Anthony Weiner? Almost as bad appearing as Samantha Powers and Cass Sunstein, whoever that is. I guess it's top. It said, I guess it was an insult. It said it was another situation. He assaulted a top Clinton aide, then a congressman, then White House officials. Apparently, they found out who he was. And I guess one of the ones that did him in was when he said, last October, he said, so when will someone do us the favor of getting rid of Sarah Palin and the rest of her white trash family? What utter useless garbage.
Well, he also, the one that I thought as soon as he did it, if they found out who he was done, he used a expletive. How do you say the word? Expletive. Instead of the word crappy, he says has crappy staff, but he used the other word, hashtag Obama, in 3 words.
And this is one of his own people, by the way. Yeah. Anyway,
he worked for Obama. He's part of that staff he's talking about.
That's the thing about the internet and about Twitter and about all Facebook. And by the way, I read something the other day, or it's today. I meant to bring this up. Facebook was mentioned in 20% of all divorces last year. How about that? Yeah, Facebook came back.
I have a very good friend of mine that has just went through a 2.5-year divorce, all precipitated by him rekindling a romance with a high school sweetheart that he found on Facebook.
Yeah, and it goes on from there. I read something today that they found out at least 2 murders from people who unfriended somebody got murdered. I didn't know they could even tell when you unfriend them.
Unfriend me, JJ. See what happens.
Ought to be a song. Unfriend
So I don't
me
have a
now.
Facebook. I don't get involved.
JJ, you're the one. I'm the old guy. You're the young guy. You're supposed to have the social media going
Too
around
cool
there.
for Facebook.
You are
buddy.
too cool, yes.
Do you have a
JJ
MySpace
LaSalva,
page
too
back in
cool
the day?
for school.
I did have MySpace. I had a Facebook up until a few years ago. I just got tired of reading people's crap.
And all your girls
So
caught up with
boring.
you. That's the other thing, too. So.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So
It is a good way to hook up with
unfriending
females.
somebody.
You know what it's good for? It's good for showing off your vacation pictures and your children and grandchildren.
That's all it is.
And catching up to people you knew in high school. That's
Facebook has
basically
become a way to find
If
people
it
you
was
knew in high
just
school.
that,
or
I would
college.
have one.
It's a brag book, you know.
It's the way to find somebody that you had lost contact with after college or high school, and it has replaced all those picture portfolios
Brag
my mom
books.
had.
Yeah.
My mom had. I mean, when my mother passed away, the family has to go through all those.
Mm-hmm.
We found 64 photo books.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize she'd taken that many
Yeah,
pictures.
well,
of my
that's
family.
one thing you can do when you check somebody out. If you're looking for a story or a source, it's good for looking them down. We got on a couple of minutes. I want to mention this. You guys sleeping all right these days?
I am.
What's the best thing about sleep?
That I don't have to put up with JJ.
What do you think it does for you?
It relaxes me. It gives
In
me
what,
energy.
in what way does it relax you?
It takes away my lethargy. I'm not tired anymore.
And it also it does something to your mind. Apparently, this,
It gets it off of which ways JJ has aggravated me during the day.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it works both ways. By the way,
Oh, I'm sure.
Apparently, the science at the University of Rochester have found one of the reasons the brain needs sleep to survive. When we sleep, our brain takes time out to clean out the buildup of brain junk we accumulate during the waking hours. Sleep is pretty much necessary for our body's mental street cleaners to come out and do their work. So when the cells do their right cell type work every day, they produce a waste product. The rest of the body has this waste cleared out in the lymphatic system, but the brain is disconnected from that. So it needs another way to wipe out the waste of your brain. So the garbage men come to your brain when you sleep and wipe it clean, JJ.
Well, even when I'm awake, I have that time of day when I just like to stare at the wall and think about absolutely nothing.
Kind of like when we scrapped the temporary internet files in all of our computers.
Yeah, well, you get rid of some of those files, exactly. So, anyway, sleep. Sometimes it's amazing. Like last night, I was tired. I fell asleep about 10:15 trying to watch this TV show. It's a little early for me. If I fall asleep early, I wake up early.
Me too.
So I wound up getting up at 4 o'clock this morning. Not what I wanted to do,
No.
Throws off my cycle, But I was so refreshed. I couldn't believe it. I only had 6 hours sleep, but I felt like, man, I feel like I had a good eight hours. But
What TV show were you watching to put you to sleep? I need to avoid that TV show.
my wife watches NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles, and then she was getting ready to watch the third show, and I said, I'm out.
I'm done.
I'm going to bed. So that was pretty much it. All right, real quick, some random facts today. We have fake and factoids later. Some of these I couldn't put anyplace else. So I thought, well, I'll just throw in some interesting random facts because they're random. And by the way, I think my research team has been working for John Tesh. I'm hearing some of the similar things on his promos.
Oh, man.
And I'd like to know what they're doing out there, giving my material away to him. That's not
Maybe
it's not
some
okay
sort
with
of
me.
proprietary.
It's not okay
problem.
with me. Who does think John Tesh think he is to get my material like that from my crack staff that I pay a great deal of money to get these things? But sometimes the staff gets stuff and we can't fit it into our format. I call them odd assorted facts. Here's a couple, just so. In the 1700s, watching surgeries was a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
And doctors would invite their friends to view them.
Yeah.
We already did that one.
Well, I don't know if you remember it or not.
Yeah, did you know that
Number two, go ahead.
the Civil War was done the same way? People would go and set up picnics with umbrellas on, watch the battle going on below them during the Civil War.
Here's what I didn't know. Zombies is a class taught at Ole Miss.
Really?
Yeah. Thought that was quite interesting. Zombies.
If you've ever been to the Grove, you know that some of those kids turn into zombies by the end of the partying.
That's true. And finally, this has been referred to in different ways, and we might even mention it several times, but lack of face-to-face social contact increases a person's chances of heart disease, stroke, or dementia. So sometimes it pays to get out there and
So if you're a hermit,
FaceTime.
so Howard Hughes was not good.
There you go.
Let's say.
Exactly. All right, the mayor's in the house. We'll take a break, come back, find out what he's doing right here with Tom, Buddy, and JJ on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Your home for Florida State football all season long. WOCA, The Source.
Alice?
Yes, George. George, you're all wet.
I went to Devon Self-Storage and put back my fishing gear.
Okay. You know Devon Self-Storage is open early and you had all day to bring your fishing gear back, and they're right across from Hobby Lobby.
I know. I have my own code to get into Devon Self-Storage, and their phone number, too, is 873-0777.
So why did you wait till it started raining?
I didn't. I slipped getting the boat out of the water.
Boat?
Bye!
George?
Hey everybody, this is Kelly Hart, your new host of the Ocala Magazine radio show. Join me every Friday at 10 a.m. when we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life with in-depth interviews from and about your community. So don't miss Marion County's favorite city magazine, Ocala Magazine, every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
This is Don Nottingham, former Miami Dolphin running back. I'm here to talk today about the third annual Special Olympics charity golf tournament at Silver Spring Shores Country Club on the 26th of this month. We still need a few more foursomes, and we'd love to have you out there. A great event, hole-in-ones, free cars, mulligans, you name it. We'll have it all set up for you, and food. To get all signed up, you can actually just call 462-0380, and one of our volunteers will get you set up and get you out there to see. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and we'll see who can hit the ball the furthest and the straightest.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Time now for Mayor of Ocala. We should have his own music and intro and everything else. He's always here on Wednesdays. Sometimes he puts it on the back burner, but he managed to move to the front burner just in time. Where Kent Gwynn joins us once again, as he does every week here on the program, to catch up with the news of the city and what's going on. And there's a smell of baseball in the air, Mayor. And I know that you've You can't talk about too much of it, but you know some things that you could share with us because it's public now because it's on the agenda as of yesterday, Project Home Run, which means there'll be a workshop next week on it.
That's correct. At 11:30 at City Hall, second floor, council chambers, we're going to have a workshop on, it's called Project Home Run, where we will unveil this Yankees project along with some springs restoration that'll be part of that. But for the most part, we'll be talking about the project as a whole and baseball, etc. So it'll be interesting.
I got a plan for them. Just cut A-Rod loose completely and take that money and build a stadium here.
There you go.
Take care of that.
With a small portion of his salary, you could build it.
Yeah, absolutely. So going to be an interesting journey to see what happens there. And, we'll just see how things play out. There's a lot of steps in between, but it's a noble cause and something that we're reaching for. And, hey, look, 2 years ago we talked about Silver Springs. Would it ever become a state park?
Right.
We'll be able to get back in there and see it again, and that's come about. We talked about Ocala 49, FedEx. That's come about.
Right.
So, who knows? Perhaps this will come about too.
Well, and I think we're on a roll right now. Our community, I think I think this is kind of the next step of us growing up and being the community we always knew we could be. We quite frankly, I've worked on this for 2 years. I mean, I started talking about this, and
you were in council, weren't you, when you first started?
In August of 2011 is when I first had my first meeting with the Yankees down in Tampa for this. And I obviously had to keep it quiet while I was running for mayor. Couldn't say anything about it. But yeah, this has been a long process. So I think once everybody hears all the facts, I think everybody's going to be really excited about it.
People want to see numbers. It's always about the money. What's it going to cost us?
We've got all that.
I know, and I know you've done all that. The council and you and Matt Barris people have all worked that up and want to see what if it's going to be the half-cent sales tax it's going to carry it and what that means, and if it's a multi-use stadium that could be used for concerts and things of that nature.
It's all those things.
I'm sure that's all in the report. So I'm looking forward to the workshop next Tuesday to see exactly. Let's talk about something that's not quite as pleasant. Sure. We like to brag on our city. We like to talk about how good things are going. But this is a very upsetting story. You've heard this talked about because you sit in the same pew I do on Sundays, and you've heard Mark Cummins talk about it as well, and about human trafficking. And like Tom said earlier, you see it on CNN, you hear about it, you just don't think it's ever going to happen in Ocala, Florida. And yet today, again, they've not been convicted, but 2 women arrested for accused of human trafficking. And a source within law enforcement says they paid $1,500 cash to deposit to buy at least 3 young women, ages 17 to 23, right here in Ocala, Florida. This is what's going on now. I saw a documentary and a movie about human trafficking, and it is really scary.
Yeah, it is.
You don't. It's just these people get captured and taken away from their home and sold by some parents, and in the case some of them just kidnapped. And it's a life of drugs and prostitution that they're forced into. It's a heinous thing that goes on, and man, that's just a scary deal, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible. It's like you had mentioned. Yeah, there are some countries where their own parents will sell them into slavery to get some money, but. It's a terrible, terrible thing. One of the things, and I know they've had some seminars and some things like that, is for us, general public, when we see it, to recognize it. We may see it and it may be right in front of us.
I think the chances are pretty good that we do see it and don't recognize it.
Yeah. I mean, people ask me about some of the drug activity and things that go on here in Ocala.
And you're connected with the police department, so
I say you can go up and down Pine, you can go run around at night, and you can see it going on a lot. And they said, well, we don't see it. I said, you see it, you just don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But
are you still riding with the police force every now and then?
Yeah.
Of course,
Definitely.
people that don't understand our system, you're over the police department.
Right.
And technically, Greg Graham answers to you. So you're the top cop in that regards. And I'm sure he shares information with you that he doesn't share with others.
Right.
Even though he's very good about coming on the program, his own program with the sheriff every other Friday and talking and answering questions.
Right.
He'll be on this Friday, even though he can't talk about his case because it's pending investigations. I'm sure he can make general comments and tell us about, is this an issue? Is this an isolated case? How desperate? How bad is this?
Right.
Where does it come from? These women came from out of town. I think one was from Orlando, one was from Miami. I forget where exactly.
I mean, I didn't know about that until I read it in the paper.
El Nuevo Palacio Latino, apparently. Do you know about that club? I didn't even know it was on 10th Street. Apparently, this is where they, I guess it goes back to April, where they worked with law enforcement and met Rodriguez, one of the women, at this club. And she told the sources she was from New York and previously been in the escort business. I got a task force going now with your police department, the FBI, and the state's attorney's office, and I'm interested to see where this is going to take us.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that statement someone made one time that we don't have crime in Ocala like they have in New York.
Yeah, it's exactly like what's in New York.
The people from New York come into Ocala to do their crimes. Yeah, that's the used to be a restaurant there you and I knew years ago. They're on 10th Street on 27.
What's it called? I forgot now.
Coach and Paddock.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they're right there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we have to wake up and realize that things happen here.
Sure.
There are major drug issues here. We know that.
Right.
We saw the whole big sting operation when they got the fake marijuana and rounded people up, and I never thought that fake marijuana would be that big a problem. I mean, marijuana is a bad enough problem, but
terrible.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm hearing I like about the sheriff and the police department working together.
We work real well together. I can't say enough good things about the men and women at the sheriff's office. Do an excellent job.
All right, so what else is on the agenda for Ocala now down the road? We're getting ready to wrap up a year here. By the way, who's going to go? What are you going as on Halloween? We talked about that before.
Probably, I'm sure I'll be at home, answering the door. So no, I'm not going to go as anything.
Well, we tried to entice somebody to go dress as Mary Gwen. Yeah, but the problem is no one had the suits; they couldn't measure up to it.
Somebody probably throw stuff at them, or they would.
If we could borrow a suit, maybe we could put Tom in your. No, I guess Tom wouldn't fit in a suit. Yeah. But
I did see one thing. Someone sent me something today. We were talking about this at breakfast this morning about Amazon.com. The governor had been recruiting them, and they're going to put. It looks like about 4 different facilities. In Florida. One of them they announced is going to be in North Hillsborough County, 1,100 jobs, 1.1 million square foot, I think, building. Yeah. So we're hoping to get one of those next to the FedEx site.
I'll be interested. You should read the story on Bezos, the owner, which some of it wasn't too favorable. Came out of a book.
Okay.
I think he signed off with the book too, but the story was in Daily Beast or something about how he basically cannibalized the small publishers in book business, And anyway, it was an interesting take. I've seen nothing about the guy like that before, but it's like any big company like Walmart, whatever. They have the ability to sort of dry a market up, and they can take over something. And they're such a dominant customer, they can get anything you want and shut people down. But I'll be interested to follow up on that story, but it'd be great to see if one day we could be capable of getting a company like Amazon.com here and building these kinds of. Sure. It's a clean industry. It's one that would fit in well with us right here, for sure. So, all right. So the best costume I've heard about so far is our friend Jay, who wrote in last night. He was going to dress up in cardboard and lay on his side like a cardboard ship. I like.
Yeah, he was going to dress up like the Costa, whatever, the ship that capsized.
What's that called, JJ? Costa something.
Costa Concorde.
Concorde. Yeah, I was going to dress like that.
He was going to dress up like that, lay on his side on the sidewalk.
Cardboard. So we're looking for good ideas, and just so I get it on the record, your favorite Halloween candy was?
Oh, as a child?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Or now. I don't know. Maybe you go trick-or-treating now?
Smarties.
What was it, Tom?
Smarties are great.
Smarties?
No, candy corn was one.
Yeah, candy corn's always good.
Caramel popcorn's still good. It's not candy, but I mean, caramel. JJ, what was yours?
Twix.
Milky
Way.
Yeah.
Good.
Hershey's.
Tootsie Rolls.
The crackers with chocolate on them,
Yeah.
And Angie's was chocolate, too.
Starburst.
Anything chocolate.
Starbucks are pretty awesome.
Bags of Skittles are pretty good, too. The little bags of Skittles.
Yes,
M&M's. Yeah.
How about Reese's Pieces?
There you
Those
go.
are good. They're good.
You know why they were the favorite food?
Chocolate and peanut butter, you can't
go wrong. You know why they were
there.
the favorite food of E.T.? Reese's Pieces, why they were such
You're going to tell
prominent
me, I
in
don't
ET?
know.
Because the M&M Mars company that owns M&M's wouldn't refuse to let the movie use them. They wanted a fee for the movie to use them, so the movies went to Reese's. Reese's said, yeah, use our Reese's Pieces, which were brand new. And so that's how they got into the movie.
The things you learn on this show. Mary Gwynn, you got to go, but if you care to stay around, we're getting ready to play Fake or Factoid. Well, you just read off 10 things.
Angie beats us enough. We don't need to have another guest beat us.
Well, I did.
Taking a rain check on it? Or
No, I'd like to do that. I did pretty bad last time. I think I got maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, listen, let me just tell you. Angie has missed 1 out of 20, and she's killing these guys. So they're very sensitive. So if you beat them today, they're going to be really upset.
Okay, well, I'll
it gets
give it a
competitive
try.
now. JJ, the war's on, isn't it, JJ?
I will beat the mayor today.
You're going to beat the mayor today? That's a cheer. You're laying it down, aren't you, buddy?
You're going to take me down, JJ?
All right. Well, okay.
No
I like that
contest.
attitude.
All right.
I like that attitude. All right, let's go and take our break and come back. We have Fake or Factoid, where Kent Gwynn taking on JJ and Tom. We shall see who reigns the champion after this timeout on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. WOCA, JJ, you have set us up. The source.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today. Tom Schmitz, the Forest Wildcats, a team that we have seen improve week by week as the season's gone on.
They welcome in the Nature Coast football program from Brooksville. Should be a great Friday night matchup on the Marion County Friday Night Game of the Week, brought to you by the McDonald Agency.
Pre-game, 7 o'clock kickoff, 7:30 right here on WOCA.
The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Ugh, what wrong?
Ugh, need wood for fire.
Ugh, I go get. Ugh, I got wood for fire.
Ugh, what takes so long?
Had to use restroom. Someone not refill toilet paper.
Ugh, my bad. You wash hands?
Ugh, of course. Ugh, what caveman you take me for?
You know, Dan, people who save money by switching to Mike Scott Plumbing sure are happy.
Well, Brittany, how happy are they?
Happier than a caveman with indoor plumbing.
Yep. Get happy. Get Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. 237-2888.
Horsepower in Horse Country returns with the Ocala Pumpkin Run 3-day car show and festival. Friday, October 25th through Sunday the 27th on Castro Farms, Highway 27 west of I-75. Hundreds of acres filled with classics and customs, a concert series, vendors, food, lifestyle tent, and free activities for the kids Saturday and Sunday. Pony rides, pumpkin decorating, hay rides, face painting, and more. Children 11 and under free. Get your tickets now at OcalaPumpkinRun.com. Join the car show like no other. Ocala Pumpkin Run, October 25th through the 27th.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require a $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
All right, just enough time right here on the program. We'll call the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, Tom Schmitz, JJ LaSalva, and the Mayor, Kent Gwynn. We're teeing it up for fake or factoid.
And JJ has just put us out there, buddy.
I read them out there. I read them off. You guys say fake or fact.
We got to go fast.
Ready for the disclaimer?
Here we go. Quickly, disclaimer.
The disclaimer is these are Buddy Martin's question, not ours. We'll just go with it.
All right, number one. Bad weather reports are more often right than good ones.
True.
False.
False.
It's true. JJ goes ahead 1-0. He was serious about the throwdown. Number two, smarter women tend to be bigger drinkers.
False.
False.
True.
Thomas correct. It is true.
I know some. All right.
Never mind.
No way.
You just don't challenge the facts.
He said no way, buddy. I heard him.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, wait a minute. That's borderline.
He said no
That's
way.
borderline.
All right.
Now.
All right.
All right. Number three. If you complain about the answer, you lose the point.
Feel like a
Number
little
three.
kid.
In Tokyo, they actually sell toupees for dogs.
True.
True.
False.
The mayor missed one. It's false. It's true. And it's true.
Mayor's
Tom,
out. He's missed three already.
He's out there. 3 for 3. He's 0 for 3, the mayor. Going back in for a second time, see if he can get a second chance. Keep answering. Number four, it takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce and 13 hours to build a Toyota.
True.
True.
It is true. Correct. Number six.
I like my
Number
Toyota.
5. 99.99% of people don't like their first sip of beer, wine, coffee, or their first
True.
cigarette.
True.
False.
It's true.
The mayor loved his first sip of beer.
Of all of those.
He needs one right now. Number 6. Enabling the airplane mode on your cell phone will help it charge faster.
True.
It is true.
These are easy today.
Hey, JJ, they're easy when you get them right. When they get them wrong, they're terrible. Number 7, people who laugh out loud are less likely to catch a cold or the flu. Laughter strengthens the immune system.
True.
Yeah, I'll go with true.
It is true. How many you missed, Tom?
1.
JJ?
1.
Okay.
How many do we got left?
3. In the early colonial days, most militia meetings were held in Virginia caves or caverns.
True.
Yes.
False.
Oh.
Taverns.
Oh, yeah. Pubs.
Number 9, 60% of all Afghans live in caves.
False.
It is false. Number 10. How many you missed, JJ?
2.
Tom?
2.
Wow, this is it. JJ, you made a claim.
I said I beat the mayor.
Oh,
I did.
That's it. Now you want to beat Tom?
Well, I will.
That's all.
Let's do
Beat the
it.
mayor. He was out the first 3.
All right, let's do it. Let me pick first, Tom.
Here we go. More people live in caves now than ever did during the Stone Age.
True.
It's true. Tie. Yep. This is the second time you had in, a couple days?
2 days.
The mayor missed 4.
Yeah, there you go. And all right, guys, good job. You did a good job.
Good job.
You didn't sense any rhythms there, did you, JJ? I had them all.
I'd rather lose than tie almost.
But you want to go for another one?
You lost then.
Oh, well. I don't have any tiebreakers.
To think that there was
JJ.
days before overtime in college football
All
baffles
right, we're
me.
out of time. We got to go. We got councilman in the office. John McLeod will be here. We're going to talk about. Thank you to the mayor for dropping by as usual, playing the game. Good sport. I'm glad you're a good mayor because you're not real good at this game. That's okay. Kent Gwynn. Thanks, Kent. Coming up next, John McLeod and Mayor and City Councilman John McLeod and his associate, I get it right, Melanie Chester, coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family will ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get this stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Next time you get a fountain drink at a fast food joint, you might want to skip the ice. That's because samples found that their ice contained higher levels of bacteria than samples of water taken from their toilets. You and I may have a virtual doppelganger out there. That's somebody with a nearly identical name and email address as you. Keep the office at about 75, 77 degrees. You'll see productivity soar, and your workers will feel much happier.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
In honor of our World War II veterans, the world's only full dual-control P-51C Mustang fighter, B-17 Flying Fortress, and the B-24 Liberator heavy bombers are coming to Ocala International Airport November 8th to the 10th for an amazing World War II living history event. Explore these beautifully restored World War II aircraft inside and out, and even become a part of the crew in an unforgettable flight experience. Or get some stick time in the legendary Mustang. For more information, dates, and flight reservations, call 800-568-8924 or see our website at bomberrides.org.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Business model relies heavily on intern labor, and some signed up for 2-year gigs. He's just 14, and he's charged with murder. Massachusetts high school student Philip Chisholm is accused of stabbing a beloved teacher at Danvers High School. Her body found in the woods nearby. The idea of a full-term pregnancy is changing. Two leading groups of doctors want to discourage the label, which traditionally refers to 37 to 42 weeks of gestation. Instead, they want to divide it up into early term, 37 to 38 weeks, full term, 39 to 40, and late term, babies that are delivered during the 41st week or later. Could you go for an hour without checking your cell phone? A survey by mobile security firm Lookout finds most Americans can't. This is ABC News.
Dad, what are you doing in my cape?
I'm not Dad. I'm Safety Man.
Any parent can be a safety hero. It just takes a few simple steps. Start by replacing older smoke alarms with Kidde worry-free alarms. The 10-year sealed-in lithium battery means these alarms are always on. No low battery chirps and no battery replacement for 10 years. And Kidde makes it simple to choose the right alarm for the right location. Help make fire safety worry-free and give back the cape. Kidde worry-free alarms, available at the Home Depot.
Let's get it started.
I own a pop stand, actually 2. Sure, there are days I say, let's blow this pop stand. Not today. I just discovered the new services center at Office Max. Their team is printing our new signs and banners at half off. Our stores look amazing, and business is popping.
Let's get it started. This week, get 50% off on select signs, banners, and posters at the new Office Max Services Center. Valid in-store only. See store for detail.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
All right, welcome now to the program, The Voice of Ocala. In the studio with us, our friend of the show, guest John McLeod, City Councilman. Today we'll talk more about other things, and we'll get to the city part later on. John, you got a special guest with you, which we'll introduce in just a moment. You heard us talking about Obamacare, and obviously there's a great deal of confusion about this. I know I'm totally confused, and it doesn't even affect me. I mean, but I would hate to think I had to go qualify for it because I wouldn't know where to start. I mean, I'm just getting the hang of it on Medicare, let alone having to do this stuff. So I've been on Medicare, but getting this down is going to be a task for people who need it. I know that you know a little bit about it, but your guest, an associate, Melanie Chester, knows a lot about it. Now, I've really built her up a lot of pressure on Melanie, but thanks for coming today, John. And Melanie, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, buddy. This is my partner, Melanie Chester, and we also work with my brother, David McLeod. And we generally try to go, both of us, when we do most of this right now, because it's so confusing and there have been so many changes. So,
see, I didn't even know there were people that you could call other than the government. I didn't know that there were local exchanges you could. This is all brand new, and you're telling me, oh no, if you need to be covered, you need coverage or questions, that someone like Melanie could answer those questions and get me signed up for Obamacare.
Absolutely. We're still using insurance agents in the state of Florida, and we're insurance agents. We've been through all the qualifications and the testing, and we've been to the seminars and the extra, and we've got probably at least a couple of hundred hours, I would think, of maybe more than that, of actual time in the classroom, and also being certified to to sell all the products to the exchanges.
Right. You have to be certified. Not all agents that sell health insurance are certified on the market. So
How did you get certified?
It's a long course that you take through the company that you do represent. Most companies make you go through it anyway. You go through many hours of daily training on the products and the government rules and the exchanges. And once you take the test, which was probably a 2-3 day test that get us through it, then you become certified to actually talk to people about it.
Did you just get overwhelmed?
Yes, I'm still overwhelmed.
I mean, I would think so, because we all are. We're all overwhelmed.
Yes.
And as soon as we can stop being political about it one way or the other, and I know some people hate it, and they hate the person who brought it in, but if we just stop demonizing them for a minute to figure out this is law, it's an opportunity here to people to get insurance, like Tom we've talked about, they don't have insurance, and let's embrace the good part and find out what we need to know. And then once we can assess it and evaluate it, then we'll know where we stand. Right now, I wouldn't know where to start. I'm so confused. I've heard political debates about it. I'm tired of the political debates. I'd like to know how it works. So today, we're going to talk to Melanie and you, John, about how to put this in process. And Exhibit A is going to be Tom. We're going to bring him in just a minute.
Yeah, buddy, I'm confused just over the color schemes. Bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. I don't even know what all that is.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you're in the Olympics,
Yeah,
don't you?
I'm like, I had no idea I was competing for a medal. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, I mean, even though everybody's frustrated with the government and who put the law into place, everybody in the long run has to have health insurance. So no matter how much you fight it, you're going to have it.
48 million people in this country don't have it. Now, in some form or another, whether you're for or against health care, somebody's got to pay for that. And the myth is that, oh, no, we're not going to have our taxes raised. Well, where do they think these people go when they get sick? It's something called indigent care in the hospital and emergency rooms. And who pays for that? If it's a public hospital, we know who pays for it. So someone's going to have to pay for these people getting sick. And the worst part about it was without this is no preventative care. And then that means you're going to be twice as sick. So I don't want to preach a sermon on it. I don't want to get political about it. I'm just for people having an opportunity to get health care somehow, some way.
At least for catastrophic coverage.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the problem most people have out there is that a lot of this was forced and really wasn't worked through properly.
People don't like to be told they have to do something.
Right. Yeah. And at the end of the day, though, there's a lot of good that's coming out of this. People that couldn't get insurance before will be able to get that insurance, and that's going to be something that's helpful. But again, this system's going to have to be tweaked. And
then some big tweak.
And it's probably naive to think that they're totally going to go back and do away with it. But it's also naive to think that we're going to go on with the same process and have it a jumbled mess like it is now. So there's got to be some changes.
How close is this going to be to the free market system we have in other insurance avenues? Like you're required by the state of Florida to have car insurance. But you can shop your car insurance around and get very affordable car insurance. How close is this system going to be to that free market system?
I don't know that you could make it. That's an apples and oranges thing.
It's not even going to be close.
Well, if you're caught without car insurance, it's actually a criminal charge.
Well, it should be if you're caught without health insurance because it's criminal to indigent status.
It's a fine, $95. Well, the $95 the first year. It goes all the way up to $700 per person per family.
Yeah.
And that's really what they're going to do. You can choose not to have it, period, and you just pay the fine every year, and that is your option.
Yeah. And we're going to get into this in just a minute, but there have been a lot of things said, like the original thing we were told was you'll be able to get the plan that you want. Keep the plan. If you're comfortable with your plan, you'll be able to keep it. And now we're hearing that's not the case. Again, the landscape has shifted so much that we don't know what to think. So we're going to get a little Healthcare 101 from Melanie, and we're going to ask some questions, and we're going to let Tom ask some questions, and we're going to see if we can figure out how the process works. That's what I want to know. How does the process work? What do we know, and what do we not know? So stay tuned. We're coming up. We're coming back with Melanie Chester and John McLeod. We'll talk about, at a grassroots level, the exchange, the Obamacare or Affordable Health Care Act exchange, how it works, and how you can get information and how you can reach out to to people if you need them. So we'll take that up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal and small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist, is your comprehensive medical, laser, and surgical eye care specialist for Marion Lake and Sumter counties. He offers services for cataract surgery, diabetes, glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, as well as a routine comprehensive eye exam. Call 873-7200 for an appointment today. No referral needed. Dr. Hunt accepts Medicare as well as most insurance plans and files the claims for you. Dr. Hunt has performed thousands of successful procedures. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Whatsupocala.com.
This is Don Nottingham, former Miami Dolphin running back. I'm here to talk today about the 3rd annual Special Olympics charity golf tournament at the Silver Spring Shores Country Club on the 26th of this month. We still need a few more foursomes, and we'd love to have you out there. A great event, hole-in-ones, free cars, mulligans, you name it. We'll have it all set up for you, and food. To get all signed up, you can actually just call 462-0380, and one of our volunteers will get you set up and get you out there to see. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and we'll see who can hit the ball the furthest and the straightest.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
Obamacare, so confusing. 48 million Americans without health insurance. They got to enroll in one of the insurance marketplaces by December the 15th in order to have coverage by January 1. So a lot of questions, a lot of people comparing it to a la carte of, say, let's say, car insurance. The analogy is not really the same. So we decided to ask someone who actually deals with it at the exchange level. Melanie Chester is here along with John McLeod, her associate. Let's start with, how would I know whether I need to sign up for the Affordable Care Act or not, or am I signed up?
Well, I mean, you have to sign up. There's no doubt about that.
I'm already enrolled. What if I automatically? Some people are automatically enrolled, right?
No, the ones that are automatically enrolled are ones that already have insurance now. And what's going to happen is the companies that they're with are going to migrate them to a affordable health care plan that is within the Obamacare. It's going to be automatically migrated.
Okay, so they're going to be, obviously, there are agencies in Florida that sell it. Although I understand, reading the figures, Blue Cross says they lost 300,000. Kaiser says they're losing 300,000. Why are these people? Why these insurance companies just opt out because they don't want to have it, or what? What's the deal on that? How's that work?
Well, a lot of them don't want to be scrutinized by what's the requirement of having a health care reform plan. So
they
a lot
don't have to do it, obviously.
Right. And most companies are still offering the insurance off the exchange. On the exchange means you can get the subsidy that the government's giving you. So there's only certain companies that have actually elected to be on the exchange to write the insurance with the subsidy. And I think the reason what you're saying is the companies are losing business is because they have to discontinue certain plans that might be just discount plans or plans that have limited benefits, because the Affordable Care Act is not allowing that, because there's certain benefits that you have to have in order to be a minimal coverage affordable care plan. And
bottom line, is it going to cost more in Florida for most people?
Oh, definitely. What we're seeing, it's more than double.
More than double.
Yes. Now, if they get the subsidy we've seen has brought their premiums back down to what they're currently paying now.
You say subsidy. What do you mean by that? How does that work?
A subsidy is based on the person's income and their geographic location and the number of people that they claim on their tax return.
Okay.
The government is actually giving you an advanced premium tax credit. And
that shows up on the taxes the next year, right?
Right. It'll show up on the taxes for 2015, but when you apply for the coverage effective for January 1st, they'll actually advance that credit to the insurance company on a monthly basis to help for the cost of the health insurance. And then when that person files their tax return in 2015, it basically will even itself up based on what that person said they're going to make for income the year. So it's an advanced premium tax credit, but yet when they file their 2015 taxes, it kind of like gives it back to them.
Doesn't that just scream, please, this is something I could fraudulently get away with here?
Correct.
Because it's
correct. And
because it's a prepayment plan by the government?
And that's why they're saying that the government is open to a huge fraud bill because of people doing that. Because if someone's taking advanced premium tax credit because they're saying they're making this certain amount of dollars for 2014, and then when they file their taxes, they don't make anywhere clear to it. Yeah, they're supposed to pay it back, but what if the person doesn't have money to pay it back? Then they go into putting liens on your house, liens on this, liens on that, but it's a lien. If people are going to do that, they're not going to care about having a lien.
Well, here's the thing. If they can fraudulently defraud the government out of millions of dollars in income taxes, they did in Tampa, where they had 35 people who got big returns in Tampa to a phony address and phony people, who knows what they can do with this? But that's just that's the cost of doing. That's the risk that you run. Let's talk about what's here, what's now. Let's talk about Tom. Tom is a contract worker. He does other work. He has another side business, and he didn't have health care insurance. How can you help Tom, and what does he need to do? He's been trying to sign up, but he's not having any luck at it.
Right. Getting into the website on an individual person is very hard. We're even frustrated trying to get into the healthcare.gov website. What we recommend to people is don't try to do it on your own. We've been trained to try to get through the systems. We have different avenues to get into the exchange. Come see an agent. The agent will help you work through the site to fill out your subsidy and then figure out what plan is best for you.
Well, last year, and not to tell everybody all my numbers or anything, but last year, after my government deduction that I get, as an individual, because I don't have any kids or anything, after I paid all the bills for gas mileage, for doing my sales job and everything and riding around, I literally paid $0 into the government. The year before, I paid $11, I think was my tax bill. So
Right.
they're going to give me $11 worth of health insurance?
No, they don't take it on how much tax you're due to them. What they take is they call it a modified. It's not the adjusted income, but it's the modified income on your tax return. So if you're a 1099 employee, self-employed,
I am.
then it would be after your business expenses. It's that number that you report on the front page of your tax return. That number is based on the percentage of poverty that you're at. If you're 11,009, I believe, I mean, don't quote me on the exact numbers, that's poverty level. You can get a subsidy up to 400% of poverty level. So if you made $20,000, $30,000, you can get a subsidy towards your health insurance. Even if you made over poverty, you could still get a subsidy. And usually at that time, it's usually almost 100% of the premium.
So now I'm really confused because I don't know what 400%, 100%.
Okay, so if you made
Throw out a figure, it doesn't matter.
yeah, if you made $15,000 on that number on your tax return, you would be eligible for a subsidy because you are about 125% of poverty level, which poverty level's 11,009
Right.
for a single person.
Okay.
Okay, so if you made 15,000, you're probably about 120% of that 11,009.
I made closer to 11.9 than I did to 15. I'll tell you that.
Well, if you fall at 11.9 or below, then you're automatically in Medicaid. They're automatically going to kick you to Medicaid coverage.
But did the state of Florida? Now, how does that work? Because I was at the health clinic this morning with a note where the state turned me down for Medicaid.
Then they must have taken a different income number.
Because you made more money than that, that's why.
Yeah. It has to
Your
be
gross, your adjusted gross and your gross are.
or adjusted in the modified.
that's
When
where
you take
the
your
average person's
expenses
confused.
off what you do, you have
So
a lot
for
of
this reason, because the average person isn't going to understand all the numbers you just thrown out, that's the reason you should go to a certified insurance carrier to get this done.
What kind of questions, Melanie, are you getting from the general public when people come see you? What do they want to know?
A lot of them are how much is it? I mean, and how do we do it? I mean, exactly what you're saying is everybody's trying to get into the system to look at it, and they have no clue where to start. They're getting bumped off.
Well, how do you get into it?
Just
log on to government.com or
It's
something?
healthcare.
healthcare.com.
Yeah, and then
or
what's the
actually
next?
.gov.
Right. Gov. What's next after that?
And then you have to sign up yourself as an account.
Okay.
And then once you have your login username, then you can get in and it'll give you choices to go through a subsidy calculator, and it'll estimate that if it's all up and working and you can get that far in the system, then once the subsidy calculator comes back, then it'll show you what plans that you're eligible for based on what money that they're giving you. Now, there is different metal plans, like he was saying. There is bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. The way they figure the subsidy is it's based on the second lowest silver plan. So what it's going to do is it's going to come back and it's going to show you the different carriers that you can write through the marketplace, be it Blue Cross or Aetna, or I think it's Humana. I'm not really sure what the third. There is several other ones. Those are the top carriers. It would come back and tell you the different plans that you would be eligible for. Doesn't mean you have to take the silver, what they're showing you. You can actually go down to a bronze plan and get a cheaper plan and still use the subsidy for that. It's just your benefits wouldn't be as good as having a silver plan.
Now, I'm required to have insurance. 48 million people, I'm required. Are doctors required to accept that insurance?
No.
No.
No. And I've heard, and you've asked me what I've heard from the public, that there is going to be a lot of doctors that take cash only.
But I thought you said his at a certain level will be 100% paid for.
Right, but that's not meaning that the doctors are going to get what they want.
I'm
for
saying,
their
though, but
services.
he says he's required to carry health insurance, but if his subsidy pays for his insurance,
He has insurance.
he has insurance.
But the doctors have to take that
Well,
insurance.
that's true of anything.
The doctors do not have to take that
That's true of
insurance.
Medicare.
Well, then what's going to stop doctors from most doctors from opting out of this?
Same thing it is with Medicare. Some doctors opt out of it. Don't take it.
Well, I mean, let's be realistic. And the majority of their business is going to come from insurance paid. So there'd be some doctors that get away with it, but
You'll have somebody who'll take it.
And those are the guys that are probably more established and
those
just
are the
don't want to
ones
mess
you're
with
gonna
My question is, for somebody like me, why would it make more sense for me to pay the $95 a year fine and go to a doctor that accepts cash, because you'll get a better rate at cash because he doesn't have to wait for the 90 to 120 day turnaround for insurance to pay?
Well, it's $95 the first year. Okay, and then it goes up all the way up to almost $700 or right at $700. On top of that, something catastrophic happens. I mean, that's why you have health insurance to begin with. You're not. you're not covering those lower costs so much. Some people do. They have plans that do, but you're covering that catastrophic.
You're covering
stuff.
heart surgery and stuff like that.
You spend 2 weeks in the hospital.
Heart surgery.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Out of business. You're broken.
Heart surgery. You need a hip replacement, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. Does this plan classify certain things as elective instead of necessary? Like our good friend Buddy Martin had a necessary hip replacement because he couldn't walk.
Yeah.
Will that become an elective surgery in this
it's not
plan?
elective if your doctor tells you need to have a hip surgery.
We haven't seen that at this point, and you do have to get prior.
So there's no board to the
prior approval now.
Prior approval from the government or from a board of physicians, doctors?
No, from the health insurance company.
Yeah.
From the insurance company.
Your payer.
So it's basically, this is like a government-run HMO.
No, because
wouldn't-
there's PPO plans too. It's not just HMOs.
All right.
Yeah, I see it closer like Medicare. That's what I see it like.
But
That's very
somewhere
similar.
between Medicare
Yeah,
and,
some of the two.
and Advantage,
Right. And
Advantage
by the way,
plans. That
I
type
do
of
pay
thing.
for Medicare, just so you know. It's
Yes, you do.
deducted every month. I pay it. It's not free. So
The Part B claim.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
But
so,
your Part A has already been paid
yeah,
for.
but the Part B is not free.
Oh, right.
Matter of fact, I pay probably as much or more than I paid in my plan I had when I had the plan with the business I worked for. So it's not like it's cheap, So so I didn't like people who, like Tom, you had to pay. I got to pay too.
No, I'm not saying I shouldn't have to pay.
No.
I don't understand. It's twice as much, but with a government subsidy, then it's about the same rate that I would pay now. Why not just require me to carry it and fine me if I don't carry it and make me go to a private person and do it without the government involvement?
Because you won't be covered if you have a heart attack.
No, I mean without the government involvement.
Yeah, but depending on where your income is how much subsidy you're going to get.
Well, and he can go, and you can go and get a regular plan and not take the subsidy.
Right, because right now I've shopped around, and right now the cheapest I could find for me as an individual is about $245 a month.
A month? That sounds high. But how much is the subsidy going to pay?
Probably low.
That's probably low for me. Exactly.
How much is the subsidy going to
That's
pay?
probably a plan that's only good until the end of this year.
Yeah,
It is. It's only good to the end.
Yeah,
That's what I found. It's not going to be offered next year. Next year,
Then
for
it
me
is
to go
not a
get
help.
private insurance, starting in January without the government subsidy, the best quote I could find was $585.
Yeah, it's almost
A
double.
month.
Double or more. Right.
It's almost like they're putting a proverbial insurance gun to my head and saying, "Do it. Come join us."
But if
or
you
else.
get the subsidy, it's paid for.
But who's paying for the subsidy, buddy? Therein lies the question.
What do you care?
Well, and
Because
what's,
aren't I also, as a taxpayer, paying for that
Of course
subsidy?
you are. You pay for like you pay for everything else.
okay, let me put another scary thing in here. The government's supposed to shut down in the next 90 days. That's right when in January,
Right.
It kicks
when
in.
all these things are supposed to kick in to pay the insurance companies the
Right.
subsidies to pay the premiums. So there's going to be a big change that's got to happen. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
And that's another thing. If the government, God forbid, this was the first shutdown in 17 years, but if the two sides continue to be petulant children like they have been in Washington, and they continue to disagree, and we do this government by 90-day increments, isn't this something, does that mean if I have a heart attack while the government shut down, I'm
now
done?
Now you're talking like the sky's fall, like Chicken
No,
Little,
I
okay?
didn't-
Now
no.
you're bringing
I
up
just
all
wanna
these
know-
scenarios. What if? If the government shuts down, all of us are out of business, including people on Medicare.
No, your health care's still
not
good.
necessarily. If it shuts down completely, I might not be. So, I mean, everybody runs a risk here at some point in time.
He's got a Medicare supplement, so he's in the same boat you are.
My question is, how's it beneficial to me if privately it costs me $500 something, but I can get a subsidy to bring it back down to the price it is now? Why not just leave it where the price it is now and just require me to have it without the
Why
government
would you
being
want to
involved?
pay when you don't have to?
Because the price it is now is you have no choice. It's going to end of the year.
Yes, but if the government wasn't getting involved, that price wouldn't end at the end of the
I
year.
don't understand the argument. I don't
But
understand.
you know, the price based on now and is based on underwriting, and they're taking you and underwriting you, and they're basing it on a healthy person.
Right.
They're basing it on everybody, and that's one of the reasons the price is going up.
Okay, I understand that now.
Yeah, because
That now-
everybody's guaranteed
So they're having to take the group as a whole and gauge the average health of the whole group.
And trust me, health insurance has been very hard to get with underwriting wise. I mean, and I don't take this wrong. Height to weight, you'd have problem.
Oh no, that's one of the biggest reasons is because they use a chart that says that I at 5'9.5", which is what I top out at, 5'9.5", I should weigh 178 pounds. Because the chart's from the 1950s. And that I am morbidly obese. Believe me.
Before we get too far into Tom's private diary and all the statistical information.
Well, buddy, I'm just trying to point out the system is flawed, and you don't want to admit that it's flawed.
What do you mean I want to admit it's flawed?
I mean, it's a terrible system.
No, wait. There's a difference, and you not liking it, and me saying the system is not flawed.
A system that without the system I have to pay $585
let me just say
is
this,
wrong.
Tom. Well, why don't you just not have health care and forget about it?
I would love to have health care. I would love to have affordable health care. As soon as somebody shows me I can do that.
What does that mean?
But
what does that mean?
Tom, hold on a second. But see,
in ratio to what I make, affordable health care would be somewhere around $150 a month.
Here's the problem.
You're not paying it. What do you care?
That's the problem.
What's the problem?
People that say, you're not paying it, why do you care? If we have so many people saying, you're not paying it, what's the problem? Eventually the bill comes due somewhere.
It's a national problem. It's not just the fact that you don't have to pay for it. I mean, come on, man. You're exactly the kind of person the program is supposed to take care of. That's what it's designed for.
Because you might not be able to get coverage now.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
You might not be able to get through underwriting.
You probably couldn't get through there now.
Because of this new Affordable Care Act.
No, you couldn't get through there now because of your height to weight. And you know, they're very tough on their underwriting for health insurance, so they have been in the past. It's
so which is better?
If you go through a group policy, you know, that's a whole different deal. I mean, you were guaranteed issue. This is more like group insurance because group insurance was guaranteed issue after a certain period of time. And so, you know, it's not like the insurance company just came out of the blue and started doing this. They've been doing it with groups for, you know, years.
Anyway, that's why I said all the little side things, all the issues, all the politics, all the things that go into it. The broken down websites make us crazy, all the misinformation out there, whatever, all of that. The fact is, philosophically, for me, I'm concerned about 48 million people who can't get insurance. That's what I'm concerned about. This addresses that issue. Does it fix it? No. But it addresses the issue, which is, to my mind, if you're compassionate about your fellow man, you want them to have the opportunity to have some kind of coverage if they keel over tomorrow and have to go to the hospital with a heart attack. That's the number one thing. I think what we're talking about here is if this plane optimally, and that's where it's a big word, if it all worked, guys like Tom would be covered. And you know, and that's what we want, right? There are going to be flaws, there are going to be problems. Look, but my question is, how come they can do it in Europe and Canada and every place else? And we in America, the greatest country in the face of the earth, can't do it. That's all I'm saying. Show me that.
Because they're paying 65% of their income in taxes. Everybody. That's why.
Not everybody. Not in Canada, they're not, Tom.
Yes, they are.
Not 65% in taxes in Canada. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, I want to thank Melanie. Appreciate it very much. That was enlightening. Appreciate you coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll let you be our resident expert on Obamacare.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Thank you, Melanie Chesser. Appreciate it very much.
Bye.
John, you're going to hang around for a minute, right? Talk about city business for a second?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break, cut back, and City Councilman John McLeod will put on his other hat. We'll talk about maybe some baseball, maybe some, who knows what we'll talk about next. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase across the fixed rate allowance.
Warning, there's been a zombie outbreak in Marion County.
Do you feel like a zombie in your old car? Are you embarrassed to be seen driving around town? Are your monthly payments sucking the life out of you?
You may be driving dead. Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. If you're driving dead, I've got the cure. All you need is $13 down to drive alive in a nicer, newer car today.
Why drive a car that rots your brain when you can drive a car that's not a pain?
Put just $13 down and feel alive in a nicer, newer ride. Plus, my guaranteed credit approval process could bring you back to life. Even if bad credit has held you back in the past, I'm saving Marion County residents from driving dead.
So trade in your terrifying old ride, bring in $13 to put down, and drive home today.
I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and this week it only takes $13. But hurry, this offer ends once we've revived 47 drivers. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. Sierra Prestige.
Florida State back home at the Doak this Saturday after the big win at Clemson last week, and Bobby Bowden will be in the house to plant the spear. Listen to the Noles against NC State, 3:30 Saturday afternoon on WOCA.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today.
WOCA, News Talk 1370. Good talk, great conversation.
Horsepower and Horse Country returns with the Ocala Pumpkin Run 3-day car show and festival. Friday, October 25th through Sunday the 27th on Castro Farms, Highway 27 west of I-75. It's bigger every year and like no other car show in North Central Florida. It's for the entire family. Hundreds of acres filled with prized collector cars of all makes and all models. Awards, vendors, extreme challenge dyno runs, a lifestyle tent, and more. Food, music, and fun for the whole family. On Saturday and Sunday, kids enjoy special activities just for them. Trick or treat, pony rides, hay rides, slides, and face painting. Children 11 and under free. Saturday afternoon live on stage. Tobacco Road. Tobacco Road, presented by Coors Light. Go to OcalaPumpkinRun.com for a complete schedule. Proudly sponsored by National Parts Depot and Classic Collectors Insurance. Gates open at 8 a.m. Free parking. Get your tickets now at OcalaPumpkinRun.com.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
In honor of our World War II veterans, the world's only full dual-control P-51C Mustang fighter, B-17 Flying Fortress, and the B-24 Liberator heavy bombers are coming to Ocala International Airport November 8th to the 10th for an amazing World War II living history event. Explore these beautifully restored World War II aircraft inside and out, and even become a part of the crew in an unforgettable flight experience. Or get some stick time in the legendary Mustang. For more information, dates, and flight reservations, call 800-568-8924 or see our website at bomberrides.org.
Welcome back to Voice of Ocala. Buddy Martin along with Tom Schmitz, J.J. LaSalva, and our special guest, City Councilman John McLeod. We've been talking about Obamacare, Affordable Health Care Act. I just think there has to be a lot of dialogue about this subject. This is our tiny little effort in our tiny little radio show to at least start getting some information out there to people that hopefully the 5 listeners that we have will be able to understand it better. And I'm really tired of debating whether it should be here or not. It's here. Now we got to deal with it. So that's why I was enjoying Melanie's information, and we'll continue to try to do that as we can. Meanwhile, there's the business of the city. You have a new council.
We do,
yeah. And we had them, all of them here in our show before. I think I've talked about this. I'm not sure if I talked about it with you or not, but I know we lost a couple of good council people that I hope they'll surface somewhere in something else in a role, because we need public servants. always. And let's face it, that's what these jobs are, public servants jobs. And Daniel Owen was one, and like I said this before, I've crossed swords with Daniel. You've crossed swords with Daniel. We've all crossed swords with Daniel. But he is he's a stand-up guy. He tells you what he thinks. He's a little bit crazy, which I like. He's funny. He does his homework, and you know where he's coming from. You know where he's coming from. And then I think Susie Einbuckle, and congratulations to my friend Brent Molliver, who I've known forever. So I think he'll be a good addition to it. And Jim Hilty, I don't know Jim. I hope to get a chance to know him. My point is that as we have these good public servants, even though Susie was defeated, I was impressed how much effort she put into everybody that served with her said she put a lot of time in. She did her homework. She really tried. She voted her convictions. Some of them cost her because she voted something because she didn't believe in the philosophy of, funding businesses. And that probably cost her a lot of votes. My point is that don't you feel like you served with those two people? Wouldn't you like to see them back in office somewhere in some job somewhere in Marion County?
Oh, absolutely. I have the utmost respect for Susie and Daniel. Susie, they were both a pleasure to work with. Susie was that type of council member that was always behind the scenes and always doing the things that you didn't hear so much out in the public, but she just did a fantastic job, and she was a pleasure to work with. And she was a number cruncher. She watched the house pretty tightly. And Daniel, we disagreed, but very knowledgeable. And for the most of the time, even if we disagreed, at the end of the day, our council, the way it has been, usually came together, and if we weren't unified on a vote, the second we walked out of there, it was all about the city of Ocala and what's best for it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We got some news yesterday. We found out the Project Home Run was put on the agenda yesterday for next week's workshop. Mm-hmm. You know a little bit about that. You haven't been able to talk a great deal about it, but we're going to go to the workshop and see what happens, to see what the city's going to roll out as the plan of attack for presenting this idea, trying to get everybody on the same page, the Yankees, the city, and the voters have to decide at some point in a special referendum whether they want to devote part of the sales tax to this project. How are you feeling about that? What can you tell us about it at this point?
Well, first of all, I'm extremely excited. We're talking the New York Yankees here. We're not talking some little sporting franchise down the road in Zuber. This is the number one sporting franchise in the whole world. And I think that's been proven out year after year. But we're going to roll it out, and we're going to roll it out in our workshop, and we're going to give the public the opportunity to see what all we have done and in our progression with the Yankees. And we're also going to be presenting it to the public to see what their input is on it. Now, there's been polling data and different things like that have been done, and a lot of it has been very positive, but we still have to get the citizens' input. And then at that point, we have to present it to the county commission, because there won't be a tax referendum unless the county commission is supportive of it. So ultimately it'll be in their hands, and we understand that the tough positions that they've been in the past, now, and in the future. But again, there's only X many opportunities to get someone like the New York Yankees in your community. And yes, this is their single A affiliate, but the Yankees are the Yankees. When A-Rod came to rehab, where do you think he rehabbed? At their single A facility in Tampa. And so we'll have big name ball players coming here to rehab. The single A Yankees will be playing the Red Sox here in Ocala, and that'll always be a big draw, no matter where it is, at whatever level. So there's a lot of exciting things, and there's going to be some other features that are going to be rolled out when we roll out the Yankees, and things that help the community in general. It won't just be about the Yankees in the stadium.
Even though I know you don't have any finality, the two things I want to mention real fast before we go to break is, one, which way is the wind blowing at this point? It's just conjecture. What are you feeling in your bones? And let's address that question. I got a second one for you. Which way is the wind blowing right now?
Well, I'll put it this way. A lot of things do have to come together for everything to happen. And we have to have positive citizen involvement. We have to have the county commission come on board. And then we have to have the citizens, again, vote whether they want to do this or not. At the end of the day, it's their community. we can put it out there for them. And I don't tell people how to vote. If they vote for or against it, that's their decision.
But you put your finger in the wind like that and just say, are you feeling positive about this? Do you think there's a certain negative? I know you.
To get this far
Yeah.
is very positive.
Okay.
Very positive. We've gotten further than any other community has, and we've put a lot of time and effort into it. We've done everything we can possible.
Okay.
I can't help where we are economically in our community, although we're making a nice rebound. So, again, I'm not going to go out there and ask someone to make a choice whether to, support a referendum.
Right.
or
No,
not.
I'm not asking you to campaign for it. I'm just asking you if you had a feel about it in your bones without any. The other thing is that you mentioned this. The second question was, this will be the ultimate test to see if the city and county can work together. The city passing the torch to the county and leaving it in the ball in the county's court to see if they can get behind it. And I have no idea how the commissioners stand on it. I got to get them on here at some point and ask and talk to them about it. But my sense is, talking to certain people over there, there is definitely for the idea, but like everybody else, they don't want any extra revenue spent on it. That's one of the issues we're going to have to fight. Even though it's not tax dollars per se, it's still a 1 cent sales tax, which has to be approved by the voters.
Well, again, that's where the citizens come into play.
It's a chicken and egg, though.
Yeah.
Someone's got to lead.
Well, again, the lead part is whether the county commission will put it on the referendum for a vote. Okay? And the citizens will have a big input to the county commission whether to do that or not do that. And we'll pass the torch. And, at the end of the day, we're going to respect whatever decision they make. Because they've got a whole different set of things that they have to deal with. I know what I'd like to see for our community because, I've been very vocal in the past about tourism and being one of the major pillars in our economy, and I still think that's true. And the New York Yankees sitting somewhere near I-75 where people can see it when they drive by, if you don't think that'll make people stop, well, I don't know what to tell you.
And the business around it. And the thing is, the final thought is, I guess what I'm concerned about is there's a certain apathy here that was evident in the last election. When 90% of the people voters stay home to vote on a new city council bill. That's disconcerting to me as an Ocala, and I've said this 100 times. If they paint the streets orange in Ocala, you people who didn't vote got no say about it because you didn't care enough to cast your vote. So I'm saying that you don't say that. So I'm saying I want someone to advocate for it. It obviously can't be the city council, the county commission. I'm saying to the public out there, who will advocate for the New York Yankees? That's what we need, and that's what leadership is, and that's what we need more of in this community.
Absolutely. That's where you come into play.
I'm just a small town radio talk show host.
Well, I don't think anyone's just a small town anything because everyone has the opportunity in this country to step up and take a.
But you get where I'm coming from.
Absolutely.
I know you were passionate about Silver Springs, and you had quietly a leadership role and the background on that, although you didn't have anything to do with the final decision. But you, as a citizen, you were very much advocating.
Yeah, and I'll still be involved with Silver Springs till the day I die because I believe in it.
And your family's been involved in it forever.
And I think that is as big a part of this as anything we do, because Silver Springs is, as you know, in the 50s, there were how many people coming through there? 1 million people a year?
Millions. More than a million.
More than a million.
I'd say closer to 1.5, maybe more.
Well, add 1.5 in the community coming every year.
Yeah,
so
it was huge. People don't even know how huge it was.
Yeah, and
it was absolutely huge.
Especially in that day and time.
Yes, it was a huge deal. But anyway, that was yesterday, today's day, and I'm saying, okay, who's going to step forward? Who's got the spear? Who's got the gavel? Who'll say, okay, let's go? Who's the Braveheart who leads the charge? I'm looking for that. So that's what I hope we come out of this thing with, and good luck on the workshop next week. We'll be there and hope maybe they'll.
Yeah, and I'd want to say one thing about the voter, and most people call it apathy, but those people that vote in the city of Ocala, they're pretty loyal. If you check their voting records, those same 3,000 something people vote every single time.
That'll be more than 3,000.
Some people would love to see it go on the same election cycle as everything else, but I'm a little torn on that one myself.
Let me just say this. We'll close with this. The day when everything's being decided in South Marion County for our city by other people, don't come crying to me about it. okay? Because we've got to step up in the city of Ocala where we have a very small percentage, like less than 17% of the county votes come out of Ocala. So if we're going to be a small community, before you know it, we'll be like Bellevue, unless somebody steps up and our registered voters start getting out there. That's my final thoughts. John McLeod, appreciate it very much. Thanks for all the work you do, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, Councilman John McLeod. We'll take a break, come back, wrap things up in hour 2 of the program. In hour 3, Coach Tim Ryan from the CF Patriots will be here to talk about the defending national champions right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of 2 study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robert and I will be speaking to Anthony Giovinazzo. He's the CEO and president of Synapsis Therapeutics. He's coming out to speak to us about Parkinson's disease, the symptoms, the importance of discussing off and freezing episodes, and the challenges that Parkinson's disease patients face.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events, served bite-size.
And then Hank Whittier will be in the studio from Veterans Helping Veterans. He'll be bringing you his show, Veterans News, as he does each and every Thursday.
Stan Creel is the Recreation and Event Supervisor at the City of Ocala Recreation and Parks Department. He will be in the studio speaking about the 30th annual Light Up Ocala event happening on Saturday, November the 23rd.
And then Dr. Doug Inkley will be with us. He's a certified wildlife biologist and the senior scientist for the National Wildlife Federation. He's coming out to speak to us about the National Wildlife Federation report, Swimming Upstream, Freshwater Fish in a Warming World. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on the Source WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Time to roll out tweets and quotes. Get to the sports hour coming up. Tim Ryan at 5:15. We'll catch up what's happening in the CF Patriots national champ basketball defending champions, and we'll talk about the Gator football team a little bit, as well as the day's news. Tonight's a World Series, JJ. You pumped up about it, buddy?
Not really.
Okay. Way to be all over it, JJ. I'll be at Billy Donovan.
I will be watching, but
I'll be listening to Billy Donovan until then. I'll be out at the Tip-Off Club. Listen to what he has to say. All right, here we go. Tweet your quote. Number 1, poetry is the art of creating imagery, gardens with real toads. Marianne Moore. Number 2, to know your ruling passion, examine your castles in the air. Richard Watley, who would have been 150 if he lived today, this month. And finally, this comes from Malcolm Forbes, who knows a little bit about business, but if you have no critics, you'll likely have no success. We all kind of like the Red Sox, I think, except for Tom. He around the water cooler yesterday. He picked the Cardinals. Is there a line out on this series?
Oh, yeah.
Who's the favorite?
Let's find out.
You looked that up for the Sports Hour.
Yeah, I did pick the Cardinals.
And guess who's throwing out the first pitch? Don't say. That's a tease.
I have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you what. He actually came up in the Red Sox system in Ocala, Florida.
Wow.
He played right here at Gehrig Field. And we'll tell you about that. And it's a good buy for a famous broadcaster who started out with the Cardinals and winds up with the Cardinals. I'll tell you about that.
Cardinals are favorite.
Okay.
Or no, Red Sox are favorite.
And what do you hear about what former great quarterback John Reeves said about the Gator offense? Coming up next on Buddy's Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi, Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase process fixed rate allowance.
Warning, there's been a zombie outbreak in Marion County.
Do you feel like a zombie in your old car? Are you embarrassed to be seen driving around town? Are your monthly payments sucking the life out of you?
You may be driving dead. Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. If you're driving dead, I've got the cure. All you need is $13 down to drive alive in a nicer, newer car today.
Why drive a car that rots your brain when you can drive a car that's not a pain?
Put just $13 down and feel alive in a nicer, newer ride. Plus, my guaranteed credit approval process could bring you back to life. Even if bad credit has held you back in the past, I'm saving Marion County residents from driving dead.
So trade in your terrifying old ride, bring in $13 to put down, and drive home today.
I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and this week it only takes $13. But hurry, this offer ends once we've revived 47 drivers. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See our Prestige.
Your home for Florida State football all season long. WOCA, The Source.
Good talk, great conversation. WOCA, News Talk 1370.
WOCA.
For illnesses and minor injuries, visit Family Care Specialists Urgent Care offices with 2 convenient locations. Our North Ocala office is at 1111 Northeast 25th Avenue, and our Bellevue office is at 4850 Southeast 110th Street, right next to Walgreens. The medical team at Urgent Care can also handle well child and well adult exams, school and work physicals, immunizations, laboratory services, EKGs, and x-rays. Most insurances are accepted. Walk-ins are welcome. Family Care Specialist Urgent Care for illnesses and minor injuries.
You've got got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online. In honor of our World War II veterans, the world's only full dual-control P-51C Mustang fighter, B-17 Flying Fortress, and the B-24 Liberator heavy bombers are coming to Ocala International Airport November 8th to the 10th for an amazing World War II living history event. Explore these beautifully restored World War II aircraft inside and out, and even become a part of the crew in an unforgettable flight experience. Or get some stick time in the legendary Mustang. For more information, dates, and flight reservations, call 800-568-8924 or see our website at bomberrides.org.
WOCA, Ocala. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Now, I'm Daria Albinger. They show up every year about this time. Now the feds are warning us again about decorative contact lenses, which could make your eyes look like vampire or a cat. Many of them are not approved by the FDA, and they can leave you with infections or worse. Saved money to send yourself or your kid to college? It may not be enough. The College Board says tuition prices rose 2.9% last year. Then again, that's a lot less than the more than 5% increases we've seen over the past few years. You can have a pretty good idea if your kid should major in math by the time they're just 6 months old. Researchers at Duke University say babies have a primitive sense of numbers by that age. They can differentiate between groups of different numbers of items, and some do it better than others. Maury Povich had it wrong. A Belgian study says very few men are duped into raising kids that are not their own. In Flanders, for example, it's only 1 to 2% of guys, and researchers say that's probably the case worldwide. This is ABC News.
I sit on the bank of the Hudson River, looking across at New York City. On sunny days, I shine. When it snows, I get very, very cold. I've never missed a day of work. I can honestly say that I carry the weight of the economy on my back. I am 1 mile of CSX railroad track. There are 21,000 more just like me. We're all here to keep things moving forward. CSX. How tomorrow moves.
Let's get it started. It's a great day to be a CPA, because this bean counter has a new asset, the new Services Center at OfficeMax. Their team set us up with cloud storage to safely back up our client files and access them remotely. We saved big on IT support, cutting costs and securing files. We're certified, not crazy.
Get special introductory offers at the new OfficeMax Services Center. You'll find over 30 business and tech services. Learn more in-store or at officemax.com/service.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the Full House at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome to Buddy Sports Page on a Wednesday. Glad to be with you. Tom Schmitz, JJ LaSalva, Austin Tatman is here. I'm Buddy Martin, and coming up at 5:15, the coach of the defending national champion Central Florida Patriots will be in the studio. Well, this first time I think since he won the tournament. Or no, he came in. That's right. He came in once before.
Now we had him
right
after. Right.
And of course, we were also down at the square when he got his presentation.
Who has what we have? We have reigning national championship coaches. We have coaches that are in the middle of national championship runs with Jimbo Fisher. We got the mayor of the city,
the sheriff, the chief of police,
the chief of police,
councilman, the city council.
Well, we got them all fooled, don't we?
We got to do a radio show. Sounds good to me.
We'll probably do a radio show.
Tonight is the Fall Classic. What's the Fall Classic, guys?
World Series starts.
Stop chucking for the younger guys. See if they know what the term is.
Come on now.
Well, it may not be the same term. Terms change. In the day, it was called the
Fall Classic's baseball.
I never
the
thought
Winter
it was
Classics
a great. I
hockey.
didn't think it was a great name, by the way. I'm just testing you and Austin to see if you know what it is.
It's a good name.
You like it?
I love it.
All right,
I love how we call it the World Series, yet we're basically the only country. We got Canada up there.
When we
has
started playing the
one
World
team.
Series, it was the only baseball. Now it's not. And
Correct.
one day, who knows? Maybe there'll be a Japanese team in there. I don't know.
Well, I think we should get the champions of the Argentinian Winter League, the champion of the Major League, champion of the Japan League, put them all in the playoff. They'd get wore out by the Major League
We
team.
have the World Classic or whatever it's called. We never win that.
Yeah,
USA stinks.
No, I'm not saying the USA team.
Talking about club teams.
I'm talking about get the Cardinals or the Red Sox, whoever
man.
that is,
Not
put them
a
up
chance.
against one of the club teams from Japan. They get beat. The Cardinals and the Red Sox have beat the brakes off of them.
For sure.
All right, JJ, to the headlines. I'm going to talk about the guy throwing the first pitch.
All right, well, MLB tonight, World Series Game 1. Just talked about Wainwright versus Leicester. It's in Boston. First pitch, 8:07. Orlando
Fox.
City Council, correct, voted 5-2 today.
It was
Orlando
yesterday.
Orange County Commissioners.
Right, yesterday.
5-2 yesterday to use the taxes to help fund a 18,000-seat soccer-specific stadium in downtown Orlando, which makes it so now the Orlando City Soccer Club
Orlando
will be
City Lions.
in the MLS, buddy, starting 2015. So that's a big deal. Now they actually have a professional franchise in Orlando.
So you'll be going down there to school covering the team
Unlike
for
the
us.
Magic. Hey, we
Yeah,
could do that.
So this is Orlando's first professional franchise. 'cause the
JJ got his
Magic is
wish. He
not.
gets to go see some soccer.
I think that would be pretty cool having a professional.
I'm going
soccer
down
team
there
around
just to
here.
watch the game.
For sure.
I got to. It's in the Paramore neighborhood, right there by Amway Center and everything. So it sets up where you can almost have like a Seattle type, where the downtown and you can walk to the stadium. It sets up pretty good for Orlando, doesn't it?
Correct. Today in the NFL, Brandon Merriweather's 2-game suspension for illegal hits in Sunday's game against the Bears was brought down to 1 game today. He'll lose around $70,000 still. Pretty amazing. Peyton Manning missed practice today because of a minor ankle injury. He's definitely going to play Sunday. Nothing to fear about that. Christian Ponder, though, takes over as the quarterback again for the Minnesota Vikings.
What happened?
Josh Freeman undergoing testing for concussion-like symptoms.
They say he has concussion-like symptoms.
Yeah.
The word star-crossed mean anything to you?
Yes. And today the owners voted to change the NBA Finals from the dumb 2-3-2 format after 30 years of that to a 2-2-1-1.
Well, you know why they did that.
For
Buddy
Buddy.
Martin is no longer covering the NBA Finals, so they can go back to not worried about making Buddy's travel difficult. That's
Well,
why
listen,
they did
I
that.
had to cover the Lakers in Boston. It wasn't easy. Okay?
That's what we're saying. But you don't have
It's
to do
easy
that
now.
anymore. So now the NBA's went back and said, well, Buddy's not doing it anymore.
right.
We'll go back.
Right. It's probably fair.
That was the Buddy Martin rule, we're pretty sure, the 2-3-2.
No question about it. But no, that's okay. Any other news, JJ?
No, sir.
All right, World Series. Guess it's at Boston. Who is the one of the most famous Red Sox players ever who will throw out the first pitch tonight?
If I had to guess, I'd say Carl Yastrzemski.
JJ?
Well, it's not Ted Williams.
No.
Pedro.
Pedro
Martinez.
Because he does the games with TBS, so he might be there.
Okay.
Maybe.
Austin, you wouldn't have any idea, right?
Manny Ramirez.
Manram.
It's probably going to be like Louis Tion or something.
Yeah. It is indeed Carl Yastrzemski.
Oh, the Yaz is throwing it up.
I've told the story before, but I won't digress too much. But I had the rare opportunity to spend a part of an evening with Yaz, my friend who was a writer for the Boston Globe. The year Boston wasn't in it, but it was a World Series. I went to a restaurant, and my friend saw Yaz sitting on the other side of the restaurant in a dark room.
Right.
And he said, come on, let's go sit down. We sat down and talked to Yastrzemski for an hour and a half about baseball. The Red Sox, his son was playing at FSU.
You think you could just walk up to athletes like that nowadays?
No, but he could because he knew him. The guy writer for the Boston Globe. This is when athletes and writers talked to each other.
Right.
When they drank together and hung out.
Well, they didn't drink together, but they were. I mean, the guy who was a columnist of the Boston Globe, well known, and Yaz, they got along. Anyway, it was a nice evening spent with you. And I didn't see him, but he started. He played for Seattle when Seattle was a AAA team, the Red Sox, in Garrett Field right here. Right. Came up with a bunch of Red Sox, so he played in Ocala at that time. Anyway, the Yaz, first guy I ever remember, although he was a smoker, who started working out in the off season of baseball.
Didn't he sort of revolutionize that?
He was the first guy I ever saw who ever worked out. And
my vivid remembrance of Yaz was 1973 or 74 in a playoff game against the Oakland A's, and Joe Garagiola saying that he had the best swing he'd seen since Stan Musial and Ted Williams.
Yeah, you heard what Joe said. Garagiola said about Stan Musial. He could hit 300 with a fountain pen.
Right, exactly.
There's a pretty lady out there. If one of you would let her in, I'd appreciate it very much. So I think she belongs to me. So. Yeah. All right. So it's Carl Yastrzemski, and it'll be a goodbye for Tim McCarver. Interestingly enough, Tim McCarver started out as the catcher with the Cardinals, and ironically, this will be his last go. He's going to retire as a commentator.
Correct.
He will be gone, and I know that
he's goofy, and as he's gotten older, he kind of says stupid things, but he's good. He's still good.
He's a mountain of knowledge. He knows a lot about the baseball game.
Correct.
And he may not be the best broadcaster in the world right now. He's not on his A game. He's still good.
No, he's an old dude.
I'll always remember him, however, getting thrown water on him by Deion Sanders, which is a cheap shot.
And then he went off on Deion.
Well, he should have. It was a jerk to do something like that, But anyway, Tim is very well respected in the industry and in baseball. A guy that people think of a lot. He'll work for the 16th time with Joe Buck, who, by the way, is from St. Louis.
16th World Series.
16th time, right. He'll work 16th time with World Series. So he's going out there.
That's amazing. You look at Buck, you don't think he's that old of a dude.
Yeah, he's 73. So he actually turned 72. Jack Buck, of course, is dead. Joe Buck is like 43, maybe?
Let's see. No, he's got to be older than that. 44. Wow. So he's been doing this for a long time.
Is he 44? I don't know.
Yeah, he's 44.
I got it right?
Yep.
Okay, I just guessed. Yeah, no, he started young. He started with his father. He used to go home and take the tape recorder and watch the games and do his own play-by-play.
At the age of 25, he was the youngest man ever to announce a regular slate of NFL
He's been around
games.
the game a long time, and I'd like his baseball announcing.
I'm 23. What's up?
Did I tell you there's hope for you yet? Okay, we're going to take a break. We come back, we'll look for Coach Tim
He is
Ryan.
here.
He's in the house.
Yes.
All right, good news. We'll talk to him next right here on Buddy Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Tom Schmitz, the Forest Wildcats, a team that we have seen improve week by week as the season's gone on.
They welcome in the Nature Coast football program from Brooksville. Should be a great Friday night matchup on the Marion County Friday Night Game of the Week, brought to you by the McDonald Agency.
Pre-game, 7 o'clock kickoff, 7:30 right here on WOCA.
The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to
by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of 2 study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
This is Don Nottingham, former Miami Dolphin running back. I'm here to talk today about the 3rd annual Special Olympics charity golf tournament at the Silver Spring Shores Country Club on the 26th of this month. We still need a few more foursomes, and we'd love to have you out there. A great event, hole-in-ones, free cars, mulligans, you name it. We'll have it all set up for you, and food. To get all signed up, you can actually just call 462-0380, and one of our volunteers will get you set up and get you out there to see. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and we see who can hit the ball the furthest and the straightest.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Showers and thunderstorms Tuesday night, low 65 to 70. Wednesday, clouds and sun, less humid in the afternoon, high 80 to 82. Partly cloudy and cooler Wednesday night, low 58 to 64. Sunny and nice Thursday with low humidity, high 77 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
1370 WOCA.
Welcome back to Buddy Sports Page. My pleasure now to reintroduce this studio, by the way, introduced because he's never been in here. Last time I saw him, I think, was after the national championship. Now that I see him, he's got a big ring on his right finger, guys. It's a national championship. Congratulations once again, Tim Ryan.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much for having me in today.
Coach Tim Ryan, I forget the years here now. 7, 8?
11.
11?
Yeah. This will be the start of my 11th season.
11?
Yes, sir.
You're kidding me. Well, I'm so proud to have known you the last couple of years and been a part of hearing you talk about your dreams, what you had for your team, and to have participated in, in a situation to win a national championship, which is off the charts, and now get to hang your banner on your home court with a state championship is going to be hell. How cool is that?
It's great. It's great for us. It's great for the school. It's just great for the community. It's over the last year. It's been so neat to see the pride that everybody has taken in what we have done, and is so prideful. And as far as the community goes, is to share in this with us.
Tell me some things that have happened to you since we saw you last. Was it April?
Oh man, it's been so much that's gone on. First I was I was named the National Coach of the Year, so I got to coach the National All-Star Game out in Vegas, which was really cool. They flew me out there and got to coach some of the best JUCO players in the country. And then I was invited out to Colorado Springs with the under-19 USA 19 team, and that was incredible. I was worked with I was an on-the-court coach for the USA 19 basketball, and I got to work with Buzz Williams, head coach of Marquette, Ed Cooley, the head coach of Providence. The three of us were on-court coaches, and then you had Billy Donovan was the head coach. You had Tony Bennett, the head coach of Virginia, was the assistant coach on the team, and Chaka Smart was the other assistant. And then you had 4 observers there, and the 4 observers were Coach Boeheim from Syracuse, Coach K from Duke, Coach Painter from Purdue, and Coach Romo from Washington, University of Washington. And what we did all weekend was the three of us, Ed Cooley, myself, and Buzz Williams, we coached the teams. They had 24 guys trying out for this team out at the Olympic Training Center, and we got to coach the players. And I coached Marcus Smart, and could be number 1 pick in the draft next year, possibly. I coached another kid that was at the number 1 senior in high school this year. He more than likely will be the number 1 pick in 2 years from now in the draft. And then what we do is after we coach them, we'd go into a session with those guys, and we'd all sit around and we'd talk about who we thought should be on the team. And they'd ask us questions about how were they a coach, what were their attitudes like. And then we'd all go out to dinner, and that was really cool, going out and hanging out with guys like Coach K and Coach Boeheim and hearing their stories and talking basketball was very, very neat.
Sounds like a terrific time, and it's nice. That Olympic Center's nice out there too, in Colorado Springs. To have facilities like that that you can to work in, it's pretty nice too. So
it was great, and hearing some of those stories that Coach K tells you about the Olympic team and LeBron, and it was really a thrill for me.
Let's talk about. Well, first of all, you walk in and you talk to one of our guys on staff here, and you remembered his name from playing basketball. So now you legitimize our guy, Austin Statman, we call him here. And now, so you tell me he was a player?
Oh, yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah?
He was a good player when he was a younger guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Austin has paid Coach Ryan before he got into this interview.
But Austin, step up to the microphone. And so just go ahead and give us the real story on Austin. Tell us, he was a point guard, right?
Austin was a point guard.
Yeah.
We need scouting report.
Could he shoot it? I mean, was he?
No, that's what he did well. He shot the ball.
He shot it.
Well, yeah.
Okay, he was a shooter.
He was
gunner.
He was a solid point guard.
Yeah.
Wasn't the most athletic guy, but he was good.
Could dunk.
And
everybody could identify me by my curly hair because back then it was magnified.
You couldn't forget him. That's why when he first came in, I was looking at him going, is this the kid? I don't remember. I'm not sure.
You actually said, was there another Austin on that team? You said to him, no, I'm the only one.
That was me.
So he remembered you. So that's cool.
The curly hair was, he has curly hair now, but it was big bushy curly hair back then.
Oh, man.
Well,
you gotta see a picture of this.
Well, you had the fro going, bro?
Not quite a fro, but it was magnified.
It was a white guy fro.
It was close to a fro. It was close to a fro.
We got to see this.
Well, you'll be seeing him a good bit because he'll be out covering basketball. And you open up a week from Saturday night?
Yeah, we open up. We're having a ceremony before the game. They're going to unveil the banner.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be in the gym, and we're going to have some of our players from last year back. We're going to do that before the game. The game starts at 7:30. That'll probably take place around 7:15. And we open up against Pasco November 2nd at 7:30.
Give us a quick synopsis of your team.
We're very talented again. And, just to tell you, we've already have 4 guys committed to Division I. We have 2 kids that have committed to Southern Miss. 1 kid that's committed to Florida Gulf Coast, Dunk City, and 1 kid that's committed to Ohio U. We have 2 more seniors that haven't committed yet. Pittsburgh was in our gym today to look at him. Georgia Tech was in there yesterday. Minnesota's interested in this kid. So we have some talent on the team. We're missing some spots. I don't think we're as good a shooting team as we were last year. We're taller. We're not as thick.
You were big down low last year.
We were thick down low. Yeah. We were thick, and we don't have that thickness now. Now we're big. We start 6'3" at the point, 6'7" at the 2, 6'6" at the 3, 6'8" at the 4, and 6'10" at the 5.
Wow.
That's a big team, but there's some downside to that. And one of them is we don't have the shooters on that starting 5. I don't think we're as great a ball handling team as we've been in the past. But in JUCO at this time of the year, it's teams can go either way.
Yeah.
Are we going to get better? We have talent.
That's
we
where the
gonna
good
get better?
coaching comes in.
Well,
that you're going to
hope my assistant steps up then.
And you're going to give us the names of one or two key players, so we'll know. Remember some of them from last year.
Yeah,
but
right. Rasham Suarez is the point guard.
Right.
He was Sporting News has ranked him as preseason first team All-American. We also have Chris Bright, Chris Bryant. I'm sorry. I had another player on my team, Chris Bright. Chris Bryant is the player that Pittsburgh was in to see. He's a 6'8" transfer from FAU. Rodell Wigginton, who just committed to Ohio University, is our 3-man. He was our third leading scorer in that team last year. You have Javante Douglas, JJ, who is committed to Southern Miss right now. He's a 6'7" transfer. He was an All-American in JUCO last year out at Hill College, and he transferred into us. And then you also have starting. We have Eric at our 5 position. He's committed to Florida Gulf Coast. He's a 6'11" kid, and he's out of St. Louis. So we have some pieces there. We have some really good pieces there. Now it's just a matter: can they all come together? Can they become a unit? And that time will tell. We just played Tampa last week. We were down in a scrimmage. We tied them at a game-ending. We hit a 3. Suarez hit a 3 to tie it at the buzzer. We didn't go into overtime. We didn't look great on Saturday. We should have beat those guys. We didn't look great. But I'm not worried about the winning and losing. I'm worried about how they're coming together. Sporting News has us ranked number 2 in the country right now. But again, that's all preseason. That doesn't mean anything until they start playing.
Pressure's on. Tim Ryan's our special guest. He's going to be taking off in just a moment. Got a busy day. Appreciate him taking the time to come in. One final thing. Recruiting must have gotten exponentially better for you after winning a national championship. What's happened?
I think I said this last time I was here. I'm the guy that won the lottery and I complaining about the taxes. It was so much work involved over the summer in this championship that it really hurt recruiting to an extent as far as being able to get out as much as we would like to. Absolutely, I think it opened some doors to us, like Chris Bryant. I think that probably helped recruiting him, a kid at FAU. But it hurt us in a way too, because we first of all, we had more guys trying to badmouth us, to be honest with you, out there attacking us, and because now they recognize us as a main player. But also the time we spent, we did a lot. I had to do a lot of speaking engagements, a lot of clinics. So it took a lot of time away from us from the recruiting. But yes, I think it did open up a little bit for us. Not as much as you think.
Well, I'll see your friend Billy Donovan tonight. He's speaking, of course, at the Augie Griner Ocala Gator Tip-Off Club meeting, and I'll be glad to pass along any messages. Would you like me to pass any messages to him?
Tell him I said hello.
All right, I will do that. And thanks for taking the time out, Tim. Appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it, buddy.
Coach Tim Ryan of the CF Patriots National Championship. We'll take a break and come back, and we've got more to go right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's
leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robert and I will be speaking to Anthony Giovinazzo. He's the CEO and president of Synapsis Therapeutics. He's coming out to speak to us about Parkinson's disease, the symptoms, the importance of discussing off and freezing episodes, and the challenges that Parkinson's disease patients face.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events, served bite-size.
And then Hank Whittier will be in the studio from Veterans Helping Veterans. He'll be bringing you his show, Veterans News, as he does each and every Thursday.
Stan Creel is the Recreation and Event Supervisor at the City of Ocala Recreation and Parks Department. He will be in the studio speaking about the 30th annual Light Up Ocala event happening on Saturday, November the 23rd.
And then Dr. Doug Inkley will be with us. He's a certified wildlife biologist and the senior scientist for the National Wildlife Federation. He's coming out to speak to us about the National Wildlife Federation report, Swimming Upstream, Freshwater Fish in a Warming World. All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on the Source WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
You've been listening for months to the importance of being educated. Universal Soil Solutions continues its quest to deliver that education. We will bring you another 4-part series that picks up where Sinkhole Signs left off, entitled The Sinkhole Process. You will receive a detailed explanation on how to keep this process from taking a significant toll on your structure and, more importantly, on your health. We are your Sinkhole Solution. Universal Soil Solution, where integrity meets trust. Visit our website, www.uss-sinkhole.com, or call us at 877-519-2777. That's 877-519-2777.
In honor of our World War II veterans, the world's only full dual-control P-51C Mustang fighter, B-17 Flying Fortress, and the B-24 Liberator heavy bombers are coming to Ocala International Airport November 8th to the 10th for an amazing World War II living history event. Explore these beautifully restored World War II aircraft inside and out, and even become a part of the crew in an unforgettable flight experience. Or get some stick time in the legendary Mustang. For more information, dates, and flight reservations, call 800-568-8924 or see our website at bomberrides.org.
Back on Buddy's Sports page, Coach Tim Ryan of the CF Patriots was just our guest. Austin, that's pretty cool having a guy actually recognize who you are, and he's a national championship coach.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially.
You sure he didn't lie about your abilities just a little bit, though?
He might have, Tom.
I gotta see the awful pictures of your hair, bro.
It's
gotta be horrendous.
And that's the thing. Out of all the stuff we heard about the great basketball team and everything about how good CF was and all, the only thing I took out of that interview is Austin's hair.
Exactly.
So,
white guy fro.
Little baseball game tonight. We touched on it just briefly earlier.
Just a little.
Carlos Beltran seems like he's been in the league longer than Albert Pujols. And everybody said when Pujols went to the Angels that the Cardinals were done. They were not going to have a superstar that could help them get back to the promised land of the World Series.
He has been in the league longer than Pujols.
But Beltran seems to be exactly what the Cardinals needed. They don't seem to have missed much with Pujols gone now. Pujols, as we all know, with the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, terrible year. Looks like he's playing up to his age. Beltran just looks like he's just the Energizer Bunny, just going and going, JJ.
Well, they won a World Series with Pujols, so the only way that that would make sense, what you just said, is if they do beat the Red Sox. He's not a better player than Pujols. He never will be. But it's about time for this old man to be able to get a shot at the World Series. I think he's like 36.
Didn't he play with Houston forever?
No, he played with Houston for 1 year. He played with Kansas City. He used to be in the Mets. He played with the Mets for a long time. He's
well-traveled.
Yeah.
Buddy, do you see you're an old Cardinals fan from days gone by. Do you give the Cardinals much of a shot in this series?
I do, because I think behind the Yankees, they've won more than anybody else has. Do you know that?
Well, yeah, they have more World Series wins than anybody but the Yankees.
This, like JJ said yesterday, they're not a very exciting team.
Who?
The Cardinals are not a very exciting
Who
team.
are they?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, you know the Red Sox story. They got this Boston Strong thing going for them. You know, the Big Papi thing, the day he took the microphone and said, "This is our bleeping city," and people went crazy. And it's almost like this is the script is written for Boston, because the city's been united by it. You know, we have to remember the bombings and what happened and all that stuff. And many times that galvanizes a city and a team in a way that nothing else does. And I think they got that going. Now, on the other hand, I like the St. Louis team. I think they got a pretty good bunch of hitters. Their pitching is pretty good. I like their manager.
Pitching's great.
Yeah, but the Red Sox got a really good bullpen. They got, and to tell you, here's the big difference. Playing at Fenway, they still can't play the monster, the Green Monster. They don't know how to play it. You notice in the playoffs, people don't know how to play. And not only that,
American League's teams don't. So
right, and
this
also
is a team that hasn't played
a lot of smart
season.
teams will not try to pull the ball and go to right field at Fenway. If you do that, you
run.
You can get a home run. So
doubles alley.
So
over there?
that I guarantee there'll be at least one or two plays in the series at Fenway that'll involve playing the ball off the left field fence of the Green Monster.
And somebody will misplay.
Cause a run on misplays.
Well, let me ask you this: how much do you think the disadvantage I pointed out yesterday? How much a disadvantage do you think it is to the Boston Red Sox that 3 games out of the 7? They're not going to get to play up. They're not going to get to play with their best lineup because they're not going to get Mike Napoli and David Ortiz. Yeah. They're going to have Mike Napoli or David Ortiz.
They're built for the DH, obviously, and those are two of the big sticks, obviously. Big Papi's got to be in there as much as he possibly can, naturally.
But he's a liability at first base.
He's also a liability running around out there too.
Yeah.
So, but he is the man. Make no mistake, Big Papi is the man.
Fact. He did have a real tough LCS. Did not play well.
But he had the big home run
in Game 1.
That was a big
6
one,
games ago. It seems like a million years ago.
Yeah, but it still was it was a turning point for them, and there were series too. That home run.
But how do you think that I'm making a mountain out of a molehill with this disadvantage of Napoli and Big Papi only getting to play one or the other?
This. Do they have that same problem every year in the World Series? Has the American League team ever won it? I mean, has it?
No, but those two are huge. But those two are a huge part of their offense.
It is different. It is a big difference, yes, for sure. But I mean, you have to overcome those things.
And Napoli's a much better first baseman.
Easiest position on the field.
And Napoli can't play catcher because he's incapable of getting behind the plate now.
They don't stop stealing his glove, you know.
Well, they do steal his glove. Happened at home too.
Yeah. I think I like it because it's got the dish. I mean, you got the Cardinals and the Red Sox, 2 of the original teams, involved. You got 2 great baseball cities, in my opinion. Got a great storyline in Boston. Probably not as good, obviously, in St. Louis, although there's some pretty good storylines in St. Louis as well. I think it's going to be a good series. I think it's going to take us, like always,
7 games,
3 games to get interested.
Yeah, World Series almost never goes 7 games. If it's not 3-0 by then, obviously. This is definitely going to be a 6-7 game series, I think. These are real close teams.
You said earlier, buddy, that there's a broadcaster.
I mentioned it while you were out of the room. I mentioned that Tim McCarver is wrapping it up in this series. This is his final go. He and Joe Buck will do this. It's the 16th time, and his contract's already turned 72, and he's out. He started as a Cardinal back catcher, and he winds up covering the Cardinals in his last.
Tim McCarver's done.
He's done.
We've known that for like a year.
Wow, I can start watching Fox now.
Yeah, I like Tim McCarver. I think he's a knowledgeable baseball guy. I think you have to look at a body of work. When you start judging people, you can't judge them on 3 or 4 years. Look at what he's done over the years. He's a very well thought of broadcaster. I remember that Ted Shaker I worked for, he loved Tim McCarver when he had him covering baseball for CBS. So, I mean, look, there comes a time in every athlete's career, they don't run quite as fast as they used to. They don't throw quite as hard as they used to. Comes a time in every broadcaster's career, they don't have that real first fast step to first base, but it is what it is. And look at the body of work. Overall, the body of work, Tim McCarver, in my opinion, very good.
For sure.
Yeah, I disagree, but that's because I'm a Braves fan and I hate how he treated the Braves in the 90s.
I know you saw it
that's
for
a
years.
personal thing.
Everything is a prism through.
No, I'm just telling you, in my opinion, he's not a very good broadcaster.
I know, and everything for you is a prism through.
Don't tell me that my opinion is wrong. It just
did I
disagrees
say
with
your
yours.
prism was wrong?
Tim McCarver, in my opinion, is a bad broadcaster.
Excuse me. I didn't say your prism was wrong. What I said was you look through a prism of the Atlanta Braves and Georgia Southern. That's what you see. You always see it that way. So that's just how it is. What is called
pretty good
myopic.
prism, by the way.
Good. Well, you're happy with it. Fine. You don't have to justify it to me. You don't like him. That's fine. I'm telling you, the body of work he's put out there by his peers and all people in baseball and broadcasting is a difference than what yours is. That's all. It's just the way it is. So I guess we've got all Boston except for one. Tom's going National League here.
Yeah, I think the National League because of that disadvantage.
And you could be right. We'll find out. Let's talk a little football. JJ, this weekend, have you looked at the card yet?
No, not
you
at all.
haven't looked at it yet, huh?
No.
Okay. Let's take a look at that because there's some games that I'm looking at Missouri thinking they got South Carolina. So I'm looking at Missouri and thinking, can they be this good? Are they the number 5 team in the country? And they played to it, but I have to ask the question, are they that good? Are they just a few notches removed from Florida State, from Oregon, from Alabama? And yet they're from the mighty SEC, and they're clean in the SEC East, so
they're laying 3.
Yeah, I would guarantee you they're not even a favorite against South Carolina. They're favored against South Carolina.
Quarterback's out. That's one of the reasons.
Oh, okay.
They're laying 3.
Yeah, so they're laying 3. So the SEC is going to be all messed up. It's because of everybody beating everybody. And in the end, it's probably going to hurt them somewhat because those losses mount up. And as you said earlier, when you're playing a team and you beat them, every time they lose, it hurts your points in this system. This is the last year of the BCS. We might wish we had it back next year. I don't know. So we'll see if it plays out. Certainly has been good to the SEC so far. And the Canes, well, we'll see what the Canes got, JJ.
Well, now, the road to the national title is easy now that the NCAA let them go.
Sure.
You know what's scary is even if a Miami team that beats Florida State beats them twice, I don't even know if they'd be able to jump up that many teams.
Well,
They started too far back.
Yeah.
They started out of the top 25.
Started out of the top 25.
Let me say this. If they beat Florida State twice, they'll find a way to get them up there.
That's what I think. Hopefully.
That's not likely to happen. They better worry if they can beat them one time.
Florida has an off week this week?
Yes.
Okay.
They play Georgia
So they
next
don't lose. Florida State laying a fresh 32.5.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
in Tallahassee against NC State. Clemson only a measly 14.5 against Maryland. You would think Clemson's really upset. They could go one of two ways. They absolutely destroy them, or they just lose again. So we'll see what happens.
You guys like how the targeting rule thing's going in the SEC games?
No.
No.
Neither do I. We didn't talk. Guess what? Who else doesn't like it? Apparently, SEC. They're looking it over, trying to figure it out. Steve Shaw, who's the SEC coordinator, said he and Commissioner Mike Slive have concerns about the targeting penalties. There was 3 of them on Saturday at least.
Georgia had a player ejected. Florida had a player ejected, and
I think you have to measure intent.
Well,
I think there should be. Look, there's a roughing the kicker penalty, right?
And there's a running into the kicker.
Running the kicker. In my opinion, there should be running into the quarterback or the running back kind of thing. And if there's an intent, looks like you're trying to target and launch, kick them out. But don't kick them out because they had to hit a guy in the head.
I got a way to solve it, buddy. You throw the penalty flag for targeting, and you call it targeting. But you don't eject the player. You send it up to the booth for review, and then the booth can decide on whether there was intent or not. And then it's either a 15-yard penalty or the guy's ejected from the game. It's still a penalty that way because the way they do it now, they call targeting on the field, 15-yard penalty, and then they go to the booth, and the booth says, well, no, he doesn't need to get ejected, but it's still a penalty. Well, how's it a penalty if he didn't target and he couldn't get ejected? How's it a penalty? If you make targeting just a penalty and then an automatic booth review to eject the player, if there was intent there, it changes the rule just a little, but it makes it a lot better rule to be able to police and institute.
Well, they have automatic reviews now.
Right, but the problem is they let a referee on the field make that decision of ejection at real-time speed.
And the booth can overturn it.
Right, but if they let the booth make that decision of ejection at slow speed where they can slow it down and take all the looks at it, that I think is a better process than a guy making it.
You're saying call the penalty and let them decide they're targeting the booth.
No, call it a targeting penalty. Let him decide in the booth whether he gets ejected or not. The referee on the field shouldn't. It happens too fast for the referee on the field to know what intent was.
I think we should just get rid of ejections altogether because of helmet-to-helmet hits. It's too fast, I think, for these kids to be able to make it. I don't think all of them are deliberately making a decision to hit a guy in the head. I think in some instances the ball's coming at a crazy way. They're jumping, looking at the ball. It's all kinds of different situations.
Well, you have to measure intent, and that's judgment. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
but it's
Very
the same
tough.
thing as in the roughing the passer. It's also a judgment call. You guys think there's been more or less this year in terms of targeting calls?
More, by far.
Way
JJ,
more
do you
calls,
think
definitely. Well, I mean, so far it seems like it just because
of the ejection standpoint.
Guess what?
There's less.
Less than last year.
But less ejections because they didn't get ejected last year, did
52, targeting calls.
Right.
52 targeting calls so far this season, actually down from last year.
Yeah, but last year they didn't get ejected with
Yeah,
it.
that's the difference.
Well,
This year
that's
they
why
got
we're
ejected.
noticing them.
And
more.
Urban, by the way, is one of those coaches saying he wants to see him take a look at it.
Remember, Major Wright would have got thrown out of the 2008 national championship game if this rule would have been there.
And it's like, it changes the game totally. And when Florida's defense or their whole team has a bunch of players injured, everything, and the
then you
first play you lose
guy
a starting
yeah.
safety, it's
I mean,
sort
you
of
remember,
ridiculous.
you remember the hit against Oklahoma, buddy. That set the tone for that national championship game.
Yeah.
And Major Wright would have been ejected for
I
that hit.
understand safety and stuff, but it honestly makes me start hating the game.
It's a
lot
brutal,
more.
vicious game. That's what we need to come to understand. We're not going to make it a non-brutal game.
But it's not acceptable right anymore, and it's not going to be acceptable.
Take the helmets off, and it'll stop.
Because it's going to become rugby before it's over. It's the only
Take
thing
the
we
helmets
got
off, and all these head-to-heads will stop.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there's another issue up there in Gainesville about Will Muschamp's team, and that's the offense. And some people are kind of upset about it. And even Muschamp himself has said it wasn't acceptable. There have to be some changes made. And a former Gator player, an All-American player, came out and made some comments about the offense that were not too nice. We'll tell you about that next after this timeout on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate allowance.
Warning, there's been a zombie outbreak in Marion County.
Do you feel like a zombie in your old car? Are you embarrassed to be seen driving around town? Are your monthly payments sucking the life out of you?
You may be driving dead. Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. If you're driving dead, I've got the cure. All you need is $13 down to drive alive in a nicer, newer car today.
Why drive a car that rots your brain when you can drive a car that's not a pain?
Put just $13 down and feel alive in a nicer, newer ride. Plus, my guaranteed credit approval process could bring you back to life. Even if bad credit has held you back in the past, I'm saving Marion County residents from driving dead.
So trade in your terrifying old ride, bring in $13 to put down, and drive home today.
I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and this week it only takes $13. But hurry, this offer ends once we've revived 47 drivers. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See our Prestige.
This is James Snyder inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy, right here on WOCA 1370.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require a $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information.
In honor of our World War II veterans, the world's only full dual-control P-51C Mustang fighter, B-17 Flying Fortress, and the B-24 Liberator heavy bombers are coming to Ocala International Airport November 8th to the 10th for an amazing World War II living history event. Explore these beautifully restored World War II aircraft inside and out, and even become a part of the crew in an unforgettable flight experience. Or get some stick time in the legendary Mustang. For more information, dates, and flight reservations, call 800-568-8924 or see our website at bomberrides.org.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA Ocala.
Final thoughts from me, headed over to the Hilton to see Billy Donovan's talk tonight. John Reeves, a famous quarterback for Gator fans, who was an All-American player, especially a great year in '69 with Carlos Alvarez, came out and wrote a column of some kind about the Gator offense. And here's what he had to say. See what you guys think. Our play calling, meaning his Florida Gators, is so predictable, I can call the plays when I see the formation. If I can, so can the D coordinator for the opposition and the defensive players. Our passing scheme doesn't get anybody open. How easy is it? When the Gators have their 21 personnel, 2-1 personnel in with 2 backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end, we either run the counter play to the weak side or the power play to the strong side. I would say we're probably 90 to 98% that tendency. When Trey Burton lines up in a shotgun at quarterback, it's the read option 100% of the time. It's averaging about -5 yards lately, and if it killed a potential touchdown at both LSU and Missouri, it's time to look at it. Come on, he says. Do something different if you insist on putting Trey in there as a Wildcat quarterback. And finally, when the Gators are in personnel, the 11 personnel, 1-1, meaning 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, we run the short passing game. It's very predictable, and we seem to have no clue about blitz pickup. Your thoughts about John Reeves?
That was like a come on, man segment. Come on, man. Negative 5 yards of play on those bubble screens.
Here's the thing. John Reeves is a former All-American. He knows the game of football. And he's sitting up in the stands, and he's figured out the strategy of how their offense runs. So it sounds like it's a very vanilla offense. And if John Reeves can figure it out sitting in the stands, guys who are making over $1 million a year as coordinators can definitely figure it out looking at film.
They have a week to do that.
They have a week to do it and a week to teach their guys how to recognize it. Because that's the big thing. It isn't that John Reeves recognizes it in the stands. It isn't that the defensive coordinator for Missouri can recognize it from the sideline. It's that the defensive coordinator and his coaching staff have shown the linebackers and the defensive tackles and the safeties and all who can walk up and start calling out that they recognize it. Believe me, if when I played football, I knew every formation, where the ball was going in every formation, y'all'd be asking me for autographs. I'd have my own little Topps card for the NFL and everything.
It's actually surprising Florida's actually scored points because their offense has been so vanilla.
So for the fact that John Reeves, who knows the game of football very well, and he's saying that I'm going to have to go back now and watch the Florida game. I have one on tape. I'm going to go back and watch when they're in the 2-2. I'm going to have to go look and see that formation and see if exactly that's what it's called, because that's a huge advantage. If a middle linebacker can walk up and see a 2-back set with two wide receivers and a tight end, and he can call out 2 different types of plays to look for, either weak side or strong side, and if he sees the tight ends on the strong side, he knows it's a strong side play. You know what play they're fixing to run at you. That makes it the advantage the offense has over the defense in the game of football is the offense knows where they're going and the defense doesn't.
I think a lot of people blame the coaches a lot. I do, but they don't have a quarterback that can really run too many plays. It sort of has to be a vanilla offense because Tyler Murphy stinks. He can't throw the ball 15 yards down the field. Jeff Driscoll, when he wasn't, made really bad mistakes. Cost him a lot of turnovers.
You think Tyler Murphy would be able to use the full playbook because he's been there for so long?
Because he's a 2-star recruit. They try to get him to play at safety.
Just because he knows all the play, just because he knows the playbook, doesn't mean he can execute the playbook.
Exactly. Okay. Just look at some of those throws he makes.
Let me tell you, I knew when I played football, managers of the football team that knew the playbook better than people on offense. But there was a reason there were the managers handing out the shoulder pads and the cleats, because they couldn't execute. I know a lot of guys that know books really well but can't execute the math problems in those books. And that's the problem with the University of Florida, is they don't have the athletes to be able to.
Not on offense, they don't.
Right. They just don't have it. Buddy Martin checked out. He's got to change shirts for the Billy Donovan event. I know he likes it. I tell everybody he's changing his shirt, so that I help him out every chance I can get that way. I'd like to thank Mayor Kent Gwynn for stopping by, Councilman John McLeod and his guest also, and Coach Tim Ryan of the CF National Champion CF Patriots stopped by. Buddy Martin on his way to the Billy Donovan, the Augie Griner Tip-Off Club dinner. I'm going to join him. So for JJ LaSalva, Austin Tapman, and Buddy Martin, I'm Tom Schmidt saying have a great night, everybody.